Hello and welcome to Nintendo Pals Podcast, episode 107. Tonight, we're joined by our friend Sean Capri to talk about some new Pokemon information. You can catch Mega Man now. That's pretty cool. Also, you can send Pokemon out to battle by themselves without you being there. What? And a whole bunch of Pokemon clones coming to Switch, as well as answering your community questions and topics. We're talking all that and more. Well, greetings, fellow Nintendo Pals. My name is Andros, and this is the Nintendo Pals, the show all about Nintendo and friendship. And I am joined each and every week by my fellow Nintendo pal, Micah.
Yep.
And we are also joined tonight by the amazing, the incredible, the one, the only, Sean Capri.
I got a haircut, so it looks like yours.
Oh, I appreciate that.
I'm going for the Andros look. I sat in the chair and I said, "Give me the Andros." She's like, "I know exactly what you're talking about."
She's like, "Oh yes, I've seen." And you even got we both got the glasses and the like.
We're the same person.
I don't know what this is. I had one of my buddies in high school was like, "Yeah, you style your hair like a fancy bird." I'm like, "Yeah, okay, sure." So and maybe it's because I walked around like this, waving my. This is an audio podcast as well as a video, but
people have no idea what you're doing.
Yeah, no, just imagine. You can just imagine. But Sean, how are you doing?
I'm great, man. I've been looking forward to this for a long time. Actually, I'm glad to be here.
It's been a while. It's been a while since we've had you on the show.
That's okay. That's the way it works. Like I'm not supposed to be on every week. People are here for you guys.
Well, I mean that is true, but Sean also has his own amazing shows, including a Nintendo show. So, do you want to give yourself a plug here? What is it you do? Where are you from? And
that's a deep question. I don't know what I do. I'm from Canada. I do a podcast called The Nintendo Drive. We call it that because I used to record it in a car. But now we just do it as part of Carpool Gaming every Tuesday live at youtube.com/Carpool Gaming. And it's a good time, man. We go into like maybe one or two news stories and yammer on about being salty about something or other. But other than that, it's a good time. But we really go to podcasts like this and All In and Nintendo Dads and everything else, Nintendo Shack for actual news. We're just having a fun time over there, man.
Oh man, it's a great show, and because they don't do the news, it's significantly quicker. Yeah. So you can actually listen to it on your commute. If you have a commute that you can fit a whole Nintendo Pals episode in, I am sorry. You need to move closer to where you're working.
Or walk.
Or walk. Yeah, that's true. But yeah, it's a fantastic show. I am an avid listener, an active listener, and so I highly recommend it. I do have to ask though, do we have happy Sean with us tonight, or do we have angry Sean with us tonight?
You don't know. We don't know. We're gonna have to find out. We're gonna have to see what's on deck for tonight, man. It's been a tough. You're right. For anybody who doesn't know, I've had a kind of a tough year with Nintendo. So it depends on what we're talking about tonight. But I love Nintendo. I've loved Nintendo for all my life. But sometimes they break my heart. And ain't nobody have scorn like a broken heart, Sean? That's the saying.
Yeah, that's
I was supposed to not swear, so I had to change it.
Yeah, I'm glad. I appreciate. Yeah, I appreciate you doing that.
Had to keep it friendly, family friendly, so it made no sense at all.
What are we talking about here? We're talking about an imminent game release. So, as of the date of the recording of this episode, the game is not out yet. But by the time it goes live, Splatoon 3 will have hit the shelves and hit the streets, And we'll see, because Sean had mixed thoughts on the Splatfest test, and that's what we're referring to here.
Mm-hmm.
Just catching everybody up to speed on the lore.
There's
of,
a big mm-hmm.
of Sean Jekyll and Sean Hyde, as I refer.
There's actually there's an MCU version of Nintendo podcasts around. Okay, there's a ton of content. If you're just here,
dude,
there's other stuff happening. There's other parallel storylines and timelines happening. We're all part of the multiverse. We're part of the Nintendo podcast multiverse. I thought this was obvious. I thought people were already picking up on this.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to be the Kevin Feige of all this. It's all being coordinated. We're all being played. Maybe Nintendo is the Kevin Feige. We're all just being played like a bunch of marionettes around here.
It's Reggie.
It is Reggie.
He's pulling all the strings, man.
What's wrong with you?
Oh man, that's such a good idea. We should definitely market this. Let's get an end game going. I think you are actually kind of spearheading an Avengers end game.
No, I think I might be Thanos. I think I'm gathering all the stones right now, man. I want a movie poster. That's actually what I want out of this stupid idea that's off the top of my head. To be honest with you, I hadn't thought about it until just now. I want one of those epic, we're all in it. We're all staring off into the distance, looking up to the left and to the right.
Although if it was in-game, would it only be half of us, though?
That's Infinity War. Yeah. Spoilers.
Yeah.
They all come back.
I think it's been long enough. In the end, but I think they spend...
No, Endgame, they all come back, yeah.
They come back, but then, a couple die.
Yeah, it's I guess it is probably relatively rare that they all come back. It's been too long.
I do feel like Thanos, though. I do feel like at some point I'm gonna sit down and rest upon a thankful universe one of these days. I'm getting tired, Andros.
He's gonna snap his fingers and half the podcasts on which, you're running so many that if you just shut down your shows, that would be half the podcast.
This analogy gets even stronger when you realize that Chris Pratt is going to screw it all up for all of us. They had him. They had the glove. What the heck was he thinking? Oh my gosh, is Chris Pratt and
oh man,
it's no good.
According to Doctor Strange, it just wouldn't have worked out anyways.
I don't buy it.
Yeah, who knows? But Micah, you know what you may know. How the heck are you?
Pretty good.
You might know how you're doing. But do you also know, Micah, what we are doing here tonight?
Is it a podcast?
Yep. And during that podcast, each and every week, we try to take over the world of Nintendo podcasts. And we do that with 5-star reviews from you, listener, the amazing people out there that help us to take over the world by giving us 5-star reviews on Apple Podcasts, Podchaser, Spotify, Audible, and anywhere else you can throw stars. 5 of them, to be specific. Unless it's out of 10, then you got to throw 10. But most of these are out of 5. Anyways, we got a new 5-star review. Well, it's actually an update from our good buddy Parbrand. You want to read this one out, Micah?
Yes. They said, "Hey, Andros and Micah, on October 18th, 2022, as some people would say."
It's so weird.
Yeah, it's. I thought I was saying it right at first, and then as I was saying it, as this is wrong. This isn't the right way to be saying this. But Them's Fightin' Herds is coming to Nintendo Switch, and when it comes out, play it if it is rated E10. And then they go on and say, check out.
No, he said play it. It is rated E10.
Oh, it is. Oh, my bad.
Not if it is. But if it's rated M, we're not playing Them Fightin' Herds. But I don't think it is rated M. This is a game which I found out through fellow community member Mecha Dragon. The artist behind this game is the artist for My Little Pony. And that is why Parbrand is recommending it, because he, like Mecha, is a brony. I remember him mentioning that in a previous review. So I see what's going on here. I see what's going on, trying to indoctrinate us into the bronydom. It looks like a good game, though. It's basically Smash Bros, but with My Little Pony characters, but it's not My Little Pony characters, because it's not affiliated with them. Yeah. Sorry to go off on that tangent. You can finish the review now. Apologies, Mike. You're just like, what do I do now?
Yeah, I wasn't sure. But then they go on and say, check out the podcast. It is super effective, a Pokemon podcast. Also, you or Andros have an iPad or iPhone. Sincerely, Parbrand 2022.
I don't have Apple anything.
I just have an iPhone.
I have Apple everything, including apples. Green apples, Granny Smith, honey crisp.
I do have green apples. I didn't think about those. Yeah, I do have those.
But
actually, green apples might be my least
crisps?
favorite. Not to trap you or anything. I think green apples, like in a pinch, maybe.
Even worse than those like school lunch red apples?
Like Macintosh apples, oddly enough, not the best.
The
red apples. Red apples are good. They're fine.
No, like specifically the ones that they give out in like school lunch.
Or Granny Smith. Granny Smith might be what I'm thinking about here.
Granny Smith, I think, are pretty good.
Like the green. I don't like green too much, except for apple pears. Apple pears.
Apple pears is magic. That's thank goodness for modern
good
science.
Stuff. Yeah.
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 Just getting an apple and a pear together, making some magic happen, you know?
We see we've got people saying hello in chat. We got Mute Dog here, Love Play, 7 bells, welcome. And yeah, this is it's gonna be a good episode. I think we've got a lot. Well, there's not a ton of news, but there's a lot of good questions, and I'm curious to hear your thoughts, Sean, on this stuff with Pokemon.
I've seen some of these questions, and I'm honestly thinking I might need to go into the other room to grab my collection of some older games, because there's some very specific questions coming. I'm not going to give them away. That's not what I'm here for. I'm not going to spoil anything. Okay, but I feel like I need to reference like my collection, perhaps.
So in the other room, what is behind you then? That is not the collection.
I don't have any actual games here. These are just toys. I have like my actual I have like Tupperwares of like Game Boy games. You're gonna make me ruin it. I've got Tupperwares of things.
Okay. I'm excited. In the other
room. I might go run away for a little bit. Just grab off the shelf.
But thank you, Parbrand, for the 5-star review. If anybody out there wants to help us in our mission to conquer the world, we can use your help. Leave us 5-star reviews. It helps people see the show and helps us feel good about ourselves. You know, a self-esteem boost. Nothing makes me feel better than reading a review that's like, hey, Micah, and I guess Andros, you know. Let's go. We got a review last week that was very funny. I got a kick out of it.
It's rude.
No, it was in jest. Of course, you didn't think it was rude. Let's go to the first segment of our show here, and let's talk about games we're playing with. What you playing, Sean? As our guest, why don't you hit us up first? What have you been playing lately, my guy?
I've been playing the same game that I was talking about when you were on the Nintendo Drive, actually. Still playing that Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Not nearly as far along as everybody else's. And I feel like I saw somebody like Quagmire in our Discord say he's like 1,000 hours into it and he finally just beat him. Like, I'm not there yet. Not even close. Yeah. But I'm enjoying it still. I don't think that you've participated. I think you've managed to steer clear of that.
No, I want to, but I just got challenged.
No, you don't.
Well, here's the thing. I just got challenged last week. I have to play Elden Ring.
Which, relatively short game.
Playing games with like your nose or your feet or whatever the heck you're doing. Like you bring out the Dance Revolution pads. Like you could have beaten Xenoblade Chronicles like 3 times over by now. But the game is great. Like I will say, it has introduced some systems that have caused me to like scratch my nose a little bit, scratch my chin, really think about things. But this game really is everything I want it to be. Like it's absolutely massive. I'm totally in awe of it. I feel like there's nothing really new to like add to the conversation, but it should be considered at the end of the year as one of the best games of the year. I'm absolutely loving this game. And I know you made fun of me for saying this before, but I am concerned that my time is going to be pulled away from it for Splatoon. I know that they're not the same game. They're not the same type of game, but I only have so much time to play games. And probably Splatoon, maybe I'll buy it tonight even. I might even pre-order it tonight, but we'll see. We'll see.
I mean, yeah, if you do, you'll
I
get to
haven't
play it
pre-ordered
like
it
right
yet.
after we finish recording.
I
Potentially,
can't even
right?
get my Switch to show up on my screen here. So if I figure that out, then we'll talk.
Yeah, I am planning on getting Splatoon 3. I think I'm gonna get it digital, and this will be the first time I get a first party Nintendo
first
game
time
digitally. Yeah, I got Clubhouse 51 games digitally because I was so excited to play that for some reason that I wanted to play it midnight of the launch day.
Fair. Yeah.
I mean,
Gotta get in that 6-ball puzzle.
yeah, gotta get in all those card games. But
Even
the
Mario
reason,
Kart, like you have Mario Kart, you don't have Mario Kart digital?
that one I have digital because I got the bundle.
Yeah.
So I got that with the bundle Switch. No, the reason I usually go physical. That's just my preference, but I want to go digital with this one because I want to play with my son, and I don't want to buy the game twice. You know. And
So what do you mean?
So if you have the game, you can have it on 2 of your systems at once, as long as you have your online account.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, if it works for you, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Well, you can't do that with a single cart. No, you can't.
Wait, are you saying that you can play it at the same time on the 2 systems?
Yeah.
You can access it at the same time. At the same time?
Yes.
My mind is being blown right now.
I do this all the time.
I see what you're saying.
With Spelunky and Clubhouse 51 games. That was another reason I did it. Yeah, but I think that Nintendo has like a limit thing in there, so you can't do that with 3 systems. I think I've tried it with 3 systems and it does not work.
And it's like, hey.
And if we try and play local play, it's like, hey, wait a second. But if you play online, I don't think there's a check-in for that. So
that's
hopefully
bizarre.
that's the case with Splatoon. We'll see.
Oh, that's great. I didn't even know, because we used to do the same thing with like Xbox and PlayStation games. My wife and I did that for Borderlands for the longest time. But I never thought that, I thought Nintendo would lock that stuff down.
Yeah, no, they let you do that a little bit. It's pretty janky, I'd say, because I just despise the way that if someone logs in on my account on another Switch,
boots you out.
It boots you out. Yeah.
Gone.
And I'm like, what? Why? It pauses your game, but if you're playing something like online, that's game over. You know, like it's a bit of a bummer that it does that. But I don't know. I don't know what the line is there.
Yeah,
that should be drawn on like what's fair to let people do.
Yeah.
Do you remember? Did you ever do games where you would? This is like a little bit of a confession here. But we'd take the old Warcraft 3 disc and we would start it up in one PC laptop and then eject it, but the game would still be running because it's all on the thing. The CD was just needed for the startup, and then switch it to other systems so we could all play on one copy of the game.
That blows my mind. I've never done that, but we did do things like that with the Dreamcast. Actually, that worked with the Dreamcast. You could boot it up, and you just needed the disc, and you could pop it open and take it out. And yeah, man, I didn't know that worked with Warcraft. That's hilarious. Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah,
you guys had like the nerdy LAN parties and everything going on for Warcraft. That's the best, man. That sounds awesome.
That was my uncle. So I was old enough to like get in on it with the young uncles that were still into gaming,
like in college and stuff.
Yeah. And so they were like, yeah, come on in and play Warcraft. I'm like, I don't know how old I was, like 12. But
Stop it. You're 12 in Warcraft. Oh my gosh.
I'm a youngin'.
Let me go grab my Metamucil.
Your cane.
Yeah.
Hey, not only old people have Metamucil.
I like how you turned that into like, wait about me. I want.
Well, who said I have Metamucil?
I got my multivitamin right here. So,
any other games you want to highlight that you've been playing?
I've been playing a game that is not for the children. It's called Val Ferris, and it came in a double pack. Slain Back from Heck. or HE double hockey sticks.
Val Ferris does sound like a medication, like ask your doctor about Val Ferris.
Yeah. There's side effects you have to worry about. Val Ferris is a game that was recommended to me by the great Josh Stapleton and is available on all consoles. And it's this nice little indie game, this pixel art, I guess 16-bit action game. It's very like hellacious and demon heavy. You're fighting monsters and you're wandering around. Everything's like heavy metal. The soundtrack is really like over the top, and it's a great time. Just the fact that it doesn't take itself very seriously at all, and it's a great palate cleanser for me. I got it as I mentioned a double pack, and it was like $10 for these 2 games. Highly recommend if you're just looking for something totally different, side scrolling, swing a sword around and smash baddies, or get a Gatling gun or a pistol and just shoot some stuff. It's classic arcade action kind of fun for myself, man. It's a good time.
Sounds like a Micah game.
You might like it,
Micah written all over it.
You might like
it. Hit things with a sword and shoot stuff. Sounds awesome.
Yep. Jump over things also.
What was that? What was the other game in the double pack? Did I miss that?
It's called Slain Back from Heck.
Okay.
I'm not supposed to swear. I
back from the HE double hockey sticks.
That's what I said,
in some good Canada hockey reference.
HE double hockey sticks. I haven't played it yet, but it came with the double pack, and it was actually cheaper to get Val Ferris, which I knew was good. I like this game so much. I've actually played it for a few hours on Xbox, and I figured why not throw a little love to the developer. They got this nice little package here. Get it for $10. You get 2 games. It's great. Perfect for Switch. Man,
what a hero. It's like, I like this game. I'm going to buy it on another platform to support the devs.
Cool. I don't do it often, and I don't do it with like $50 games. I do it with $10 double packs.
Oh hero. Man, I'm a big fan of supporting the devs. I'm constantly helping out this indie company called
Nintendo.
Nintendo. Yeah, they're pretty small. I think they're about to go under, but we're keeping them afloat, pre-ordering these things.
Buying whatever they sell us, right?
Yeah, buying literally
whatever they put out, we buy it. 10 million copies guaranteed. Whatever you want, Nintendo. We'll buy 3 of them.
It's not a problem. I can stop whenever I want. I stopped at Xenoblade. There you go. There you go.
You're going to buy another console.
And Fire Emblem.
I have 4 Switches.
Yeah, for now.
Yeah, for now. Oh man, yeah, we'll talk about that because they're tempting us with more consoles. Micah, what have you been playing lately?
Played some. Got to bring up my list because I already forgot. I played a little bit more Kirby's Dream Buffet. I think I hit like level 37. I don't know if that's impressive or not.
I think that's impressive to me. I don't know if that
I appreciate it. I'm trying to think besides that. I played a little Parkosaurus.
Oh, yes. We got a review code for that one. So you checked that one out. Did you try out the DLC yet?
I mean, kind of. I could have a glass wall to surround my enclosure, which is part of the DLC apparently. But that's about all the DLC I've tried so far. But I've only played for about an hour and a half.
The DLC is not yet available on Switch. So here's the story with that one. Is they sent an email out because we originally reached out to them because they were in an indie showcase. It was like, hey, this looks like a cool game. It was a really fun game. It's kind of that Zoo Tycoon feel, but with dinosaurs. And they were like, sent out, a promo email like, hey, we've got DLC coming out and reach out if you'd like a review code. And we're like, yeah. They're like, well, it's not available on Switch. So here's the full game and the DLC for Steam. And I'm like, wow. So they were super nice. And I'm glad Micah was able to take that on.
Yeah. I mean, generally these kind of tycoon games aren't really up my alley. So I'm a little out of my element and I haven't played too much, but I've enjoyed it so far. And, you can actually go into a first-person mode and just start tranquilizing your dinosaurs. So I did that for a few minutes, and that was pretty fun.
That is pretty. Yeah, it's a good game. I think it's a good little tycoon game. If you want that, scratch that itch.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a well-made tycoon game, and it also has dinosaurs, so it's like the best of both worlds.
True.
And sometimes they break out, and that's fun too.
Anything else you want to highlight? You've been playing?
Just a few matches of Rocket League.
Nice.
Like always.
For me, I played some more Mario Maker 2 this week. Gave it another go at the Iron Bros Challenge. And for those that haven't heard me talk about it before, the Iron Bros Challenge is to beat 50 levels on endless normal mode. So normal difficulty, endless. And you have to beat 50 levels without dying is the goal. Previous to this last stream, my record was 6 levels. It's hard. It's extremely hard and way harder than it sounds. Micah's going to try this tomorrow on stream. So if anybody is listening to this live, wants to check that out, it'll be, I hope you don't prove that it's like super easy and get 50 right away. But I think
as
there's
long
only
as I beat your record, I'm okay.
I think there's only like 2 people in the whole world that have completed the challenge, which is pretty crazy. You know, it's like going to that restaurant and you see the like eat this burger challenge and you're like, oh, that's easy, but there's only like one name on the wall. You're like, what? I could be up there with the legends. But I think every time I do it, I am faced with the cold hard reality that I will not be up there with those legends. And I'm excited to get. I really want to get to 10. That's my personal goal. And for this stream, I did every time I died, I had to spin a punishment wheel and do punishments that were suggested by people watching live. Things like read the entire Monopoly rule set, watch 5 minutes of Sonic Adventure cutscenes, 20 burpees. I got that one was rough. I'm still
also
sore.
Have to pretend your leg wasn't ear of corn.
No,
is that a different week?
No, that's what it looked like. But really, the challenge was to remove socks with my teeth, and
gross.
that is way harder than you'd think it is. I never have tried that previously. Not an activity I participated.
What if you lost a tooth? What if you could have damaged you could have gotten seriously it. This is me being a very old man right now. Have you ever chipped a tooth before? You clearly haven't chipped a tooth before.
No,
I have.
Yeah, I definitely was feeling on the tip, but I mean, I
can feel it. I can actually feel like it happening to my. And I went to the dentist earlier today too, so it's top of mind.
Yeah, I might have had some extra strength there because I had eaten a spoonful of mustard as another punishment.
That gave you extra strength?
And just raw onion.
Teeth strength.
Raw
live
onion.
in your world for a little while, I think.
Sean, I would love to see you stream a similar challenge where people just put punishments on for you to do. That would be very funny. I would enjoy it.
No.
I like watching people suffer, and I also like being the sufferer. So
apparently,
what I don't know what that says about me, but it was a fun time. I had a blast doing it.
I was lurking for a little bit, and I just don't know why you put yourself through this stuff, man.
No, the best part is I am taking the sock off my wife's foot with my teeth, and we got raided by the Nintendo dads in the middle of that.
How many people just instantly left?
I think if you came into a raid like that, wouldn't you have to stay? I would. I'd be like, what is happening? I can't leave. I'd be glued to the screen.
Clearly, I'm streaming all wrong. So you guys, you've got to sort it out. You got to figure it out, man.
Oh, but yeah, I've had a blast. We've had a ton of fun doing streaming lately. So yeah, definitely check out twitch.tv/Nintendo_pals. It's great stuff over there. And we got a new video coming out soon that I'm pretty excited about. Besides that, I played a little bit of Spelunky. I have not yet got to dive into Elden Ring, but I will be picking that up and playing it a bit this weekend. And also some Splatoon I'll be playing this weekend as well.
That reminds me, I forgot to mention the game I was challenged to play, which was Power Wash Simulator.
Yes! Now we're talking.
How you feel about that too?
I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say anything until the very end when we all get back together.
It's our rules. I mean, that's how they do it on their show, but I think you can talk about it now.
Well, yeah, I guess I won't reveal too much, I guess, but I could definitely see it as a game that some people really enjoy. And some people
I can't believe you don't enjoy it.
And some people might not enjoy it all that much. Well, I found out if you move to the side while like also aiming, you can get this kind of crisscrossing weird form technique to like spray things faster. And I sometimes bust that out when its game is feeling extra tedious. And I just start spraying like an absolute madman.
Yeah, Nick, that's like all he's playing lately. I don't know if you have been listening to their podcast.
Don't know how he does it.
I mean, it's these simulator games, man. Something about them like sucks some, like a certain type of person, they get sucked in.
I legitimately feel like I should be getting paid when I'm playing that game.
It's a good point.
Which, I mean, props to the developers. Because, I mean,
wow,
they really what they're going for.
That is so true. You do feel like, where's my paycheck at the end of all this? Like, it actually does feel like work, and somehow people pay to play. It's the opposite.
It's wild.
You lose money and time. But I will say, did you like complete? What did you clean, Micah? What were you cleaning?
I've cleaned my way up to the firehouse.
Okay, and it's pretty satisfying in the end, though. Like, some people like the spraying, they think that's satisfying. Like, to me, it's the time lapse thing that happens at the end that goes, it's completely filthy, and then it shows you like really quickly just like scrubbing it all, and it becomes shiny by the end very quickly. It's very nice.
I skip that every time.
What's the best part?
I don't even watch. My form and technique just looks so bad. I'm like, what am I doing here? I'm spraying random crap, it seems like.
See that? So you're missing it. You're missing the whole reason to play the game.
This is not my
after I finish the firehouse, I'll definitely watch through the whole thing and see if that changes.
I think you can go back. I think you can see how you did.
That seems unnecessary.
Just go press play. It's like, it's 5 seconds. You might be blown away. Maybe not. Maybe you'll think like,
I want this to be like a montage that we put up on Discord or something, where we can see these time lapse. I didn't know that was a thing. That's awesome. This sounds like a game I'd enjoy.
You might
I don't know why you're hating it.
You would love it if you like just like having people spin a wheel so that you're pulling a sock off somebody's foot with a tooth, challenging and risking your dental and your dental health. You would love this.
I love how you're so concerned about my dental health. I appreciate that. It makes me feel what a friend. What a friend, looking out for my health. Best interest.
Well, I don't want to be the one who says I told you so when something horrendous happens. But I will tell you so.
I have worn a Daisy dress on stream. I don't know how much worse it could get. Knocking on wood here.
Don't knock on it with your teeth. You can wear whatever you want. That's not what I'm not judging that. I'm just saying.
You can wear whatever you want.
You do whatever you want. Look, your teeth, you only have one set.
It's true. That's true.
But you can just get those fake ones put in.
My grandpa had dentures, and he would take them out all the time, and he would tell us, like, you only get one set. And I'm like, well, what's that? He's all that. You take him out of his mouth and his lips are flapping around. You know what your lips do when you don't have teeth in there? It is very strange. You need to take care of your teeth. Okay?
Welcome to Dental Pals.
You realize what happens when they take out your teeth?
Yeah.
You look like Freud, what's his name from Futurama? Zoidberg? You look like Zoidberg.
Oh, yeah.
Say octopus guy?
Yeah.
Lobster.
It's like
a crustacean of some sort.
Yeah. It's like a crab with the face of Cthulhu.
He's like a Splatoon character.
There you go. Got you there.
Well, that's all I really have to highlight that I've been playing this week. So what do you say, Micah? We move to the next segment of our show.
Sounds good.
Before we do...
if you remembered this time.
Oh, I remembered. Before we go to the next segment, we'd like to tell you about our sponsor.
Yep. And support for Nintendo Pals is brought to you by Manscaped.
Warning, this ad is going to be filled with a lot of Pokemon puns. Take a Pikachu. Is there absolutely a lot of hair that you wish would leafy on your bod?
Well, now you can be the best there ever was at being clean shaven with the Performance Package 4.0 by Manscaped. You'll find the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, the Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, the Crop Preserver deodorant for down under, and the Crop Reviver toner, plus 2 free gifts, the Performance Boxer Briefs and the Shed travel bag.
Right you are, Micah. Give that hair the Electabuzz with the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, which is waterproof, so you can skeezor that hair even in the shower. And while you are at it, you can squirtle the Ultra Premium 2-in-1 shampoo plus conditioner and Ultra Premium body wash to get even fresher than ever.
So no need to go seeking. Mewtwo can get rid of that oddish hair by picking up your own shuckle of products from manscaped.com.
And, it may sound far-fetched, but these deals are not done sparse if you go to manscaped.com for 20% off, plus free shipping with our code NPALS.
That's NPALS at manscaped.com.
Ditto.
What are you guys talking about?
I think that groan in the middle was the best part.
Far-fetched. You got me with that one.
Oh, thanks to Manscaped for supporting Nintendo Pals. Yeah, everybody go check it out. There's great stuff. I use the products all the time. I love them. They smell great. They work great. So, yeah. All right, now let's actually move to the next segment of our show, and let's talk the Nintendo news. All righty. So, as we maybe teased to a bit in our ad, there's a lot of Pokemon stuff to talk about today. Let's talk first about a new OLED Switch. As Solo something in the Discord said, it's a beaut. It's a new OLED model that has the cover legendaries on the front in this like painterly style, and then decals along the back, which I think kind of clash a little bit with the front, but they're cool. And then you can have a Scarlet and Violet Joy-Con with that. What do you guys think of this OLED? Are you excited about this special edition? A lot of people in our Discord were even more hyped for this than Splatoon's, which it is cool. I like it.
Yeah, I really like the color scheme of it. It's a really good orange. And then take that elementary school teacher that told me orange and purple clashes on my art project. It looks great.
Specifically those two colors?
Still holding out.
Specifically those two colors.
What are the chances? All these years later.
That's finally proven right.
That's right. Let's send her a letter.
I wish
Sean, how are you feeling? How are you feeling about this OLED? Do you like the design on this one?
I do like the design of it. I am conflicted, though. This is where you're going to find me kind of like waffle back and forth a little bit, because I do think that it's great and excited for people who are going to get it, and I think it's going to sell a lot. But it signals the end to a maybe 2-year tradition that I've enjoyed very, very much, which is the Switch Lite getting a Pokemon limited edition. And it seems to me that might be over, and rest in peace, Switch Lite, I guess. One of my favorite handhelds ever. It's just gone.
The Switch Lite is awesome. Well, I mean, it's still for sale.
I know, but I was kind of counting on, okay, let me take a step back. When the OLED was first announced, you have to remember it was announced amidst the heavy rumors that a Switch Pro was right around a corner, 4K, blah, blah, blah. Oh, and then Nintendo comes out and says, here's the next Switch, and it's an OLED screen. Everything else is exactly the same. So that was a moment in time. And I remember thinking, well, I mostly play my Switch on TV mode. I rarely played in handheld. And if I do, I have my wonderful Switch Lite. I absolutely adore that as a little handheld. And I'm like, this ruins that a little bit. Like the fact that now I've got an upgraded screen and the OLED kind of seems like it's going to be the new standard. Why would I buy that if I have a handheld? and all those things. And I ended up buying an OLED because I flip flop like this all the time. And I still just I was kind of looking forward to maybe there's a chance for an OLED Switch Lite. I still maintain that makes actually more sense than the OLED Switch that we have right now.
For sure.
Agreed. Yeah.
But that's where I stand on it. I still want one, and I would have bought one, even though I don't need one. I would have, and I feel like maybe a lot of people would too. We would buy a Switch Lite, and they could even like throw in like maybe there's a TV mode possible with it. Like I'm still okay with this Nintendo. I'm just saying I want to throw it out there so people can come back and just give me all the credit in the world that if they were to put out a new Switch Lite with TV mode enabled or whatever and a great kickstand, I would buy it. I would buy it at a high price.
Yeah, would you pay like the full OLED price for that?
I would pay old Switch price for it. Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say I think it would make sense to pay that price because it's essentially just a Switch that doesn't have detachable Joy-Cons. You know?
Yeah, just like get rid of the original Switch, the day one Switch model or whatever the upgraded version of that with the battery and whatnot. But I think that would be great.
Yeah,
but I don't think they're going to do it.
I really am a big fan of the Switch Lite because it just feels better as a handheld than the Switch, which can be played in handheld mode, but it's not. It doesn't feel like something you grab and throw in the backpack, or it feels like something you need to have its own case to bring anywhere, and it's just not. It's not truly portable feeling.
Yeah,
we're from like Game Boy era, and even Game Boy SP, DS.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, those all fit in the pocket. Switch Lite is significantly closer to fitting in the pocket than the OLED, but yeah, I agree. I think it would be. I think an OLED Lite would be very cool. I'd be all for that, and especially if it had docking. If it had the ability to dock, then I wouldn't have a regular Switch. I would have that.
And I think that's why they don't do it, because they can still charge more for a larger Switch, and it is strange. Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe it's the next thing. Switch 2. Switch 2 is just going to be both.
2 SKUs.
Oh, nice.
You just need bigger pockets.
You have your whole Switch in there?
Heck yeah.
I keep it in here all the time.
This whole time you've had a Switch in your pocket?
I always have a Switch in my pocket.
Just sitting there. Just
at all times.
Why am I surprised? Why am I surprised right now? Why have I allowed myself to be surprised?
We have Drew here in the chat says, literally just pre-ordered. Sick. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what it looks like, because I'm not going to jump in on this. I got the day one OLED.
Same.
But let me tell you that this is giving me hope that maybe we'll finally get a Zelda Switch with Breath of the Wild 2, or the sequel to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. When that launches, we'll get its own special OLED.
We kind of have to, right? We kind of have to.
I will do whatever it takes to get that.
Whatever it takes?
Oh, whatever it takes. Jump over a grandma and like, give it to me. It's mine.
Or worse, would you push over grandma?
Yeah.
Would I push over a grandma?
Yeah.
Oh,
Would you take her walker?
I don't think I'd do that. No.
Would you throw a twig in her wheels on her wheelchair?
No, no need to do any of that. I just,
What if there's a mattress you were pushing her onto?
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
But it's a real thin mattress.
It's a foam mattress.
Where's the line?
Where is the line? I don't know. Why are we looking for it?
It's got a couple loose springs sticking
because you said anything.
Anything, yeah.
You said anything. Clearly not anything. We quickly found that out.
Yeah, that's true.
How little you would actually do to get one of these.
I would wait.
Fake fan.
I would wait in a queue all day to be disappointed at the end of the day when I didn't get it. That's what I'd do for it.
That doesn't make any sense at all.
Well, that's what literally we do every time Nintendo releases anything.
That's true.
Oh, man. Xenoblade 3 Special Edition. I still feel bad for everybody that was a part of that whole situation. I am so sorry, everyone.
Not good.
So, yeah, that's the new Pokemon OLED. But in addition to that, we got a brand new Pokemon trailer.
Oh, yeah.
And this had a whole bunch of stuff in it. first off, Sean, what were your thoughts? Have you seen the trailer? And what
you
were
go
your
first.
thoughts?
I'm going to watch it right now. You go.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna
Micah,
watch it.
what were your thoughts on? Oh,
well, I
my
was thinking
goodness.
you should go first, just because I'm curious
I
what your
thought the
opinion
trailer
is.
was really good. I liked it. It. Okay, so I will admit that when this game was first announced, I was like, I'm on board, but I'm not committed. I'm close to the fence where I could just jump back over to the other side if this game starts to look too sword and shieldy. You know what I mean? Where it's like, this isn't really what I wanted. This trailer has pulled me far to the committed to this game side. Like, I am so hyped for this game now. Not just from this trailer, but like the way that they have advertised and announced and built up the hype cycle for this game. I'm so pumped. This is looking really fun. I like the character designs a lot. The new Pokemon look really cool. And yeah.
Okay, I'm 51 seconds into the trailer, and this is the most fun Pokemon has ever been presented ever, I think. Like, it looks like a blast. Like, where did this like cartoony like art style come from? And everything's just like, you're gonna have so much fun. This looks amazing. I really like this.
Yeah, it's a good trailer.
This is awesome.
And it's got like it's all being done like school book. Like you see all the notes and stuff. It's like that's super fun. That's super fun. They're really leaning into the school theme, which I got a kick out of, like the villain team, rebellious students. I'm like, what does that mean? Like, wait, they're just classmates that are rebellious. They loosen their ties a little bit. Like that's like, look at this grunt, and they have a really funny star pose thing they do.
Well, I thought it was a very cool star pose they did.
Oh, I thought it was cool as well. Yeah. What did you think of the trailer, Micah?
It looks pretty good.
What are you thinking of the trailer as you watch it right now?
What are you talking about? I did get some Mad Max vibes a little bit from that crazy car that one lady
Geeta is my favorite character I've ever seen. Just want to throw that out there.
Geeta, the new
chairman of something.
Chairman, who, according to the website, is also the champion. She's a champion. Yeah,
we're getting some good waifu energy here in Pokemon for maybe the first time.
What? What? Sure. Whatever floats your boat, man. What about Mila and the battle bus?
No, I said what I said.
Not a fan of Mila. I like Mila's design. I don't quite understand how she's leading a team of rebellious students. She's not wearing a uniform.
That's the rebellious part.
She's like, I'm so rebellious.
Teacher.
I don't. she's a teacher, and she has a car, but she is not the head boss. So, looking at information from the website, she is like an admin for Team Star. So it still has not revealed who the big bad is. Again, I don't really know if they can even be considered big bads. These are students. Like they're not. it's like
in the scheme of things, they're maybe not quite.
It's not bad. Team Rocket. It's not the Mafia. You know what I'm saying? It's or like a gang that is trying to do some crazy life-threatening stuff. It's just like rebellious.
They probably have a good point too. Because school is the worst.
Yeah, maybe you can join. Maybe that's one of the paths. They're talking about 3 paths you can take, and then new Pokemon. There is Armor Rouge, and Cerulege.
I love when we really don't know how to pronounce it.
I don't know.
Like, eventually we'll learn.
I don't know. Like, Pokemon has the problem of changing the pronunciation as the series progresses.
Justin Maston will tell us.
Yeah, he will.
Justin, man, he knows how to pronounce all the Pokemon.
If Justin's out there watching right now, let us know what these Pokemon are called. But I'm going to refer.
Thing called? When they go into crystal mode, what's that called in this game? Some sort of metamorphosis.
Terrestrialize?
It looks awesome. This looks amazing. This has my attention.
Really? That's interesting, because I have heard people go like, oh, that looks dumb.
I know they do. But you know what?
I agree with you though. I think it looks cool.
I think it looks sweet.
It's no dumber than Gigantamax, Gigamax. It's no dumber than that to me. I think it's just like it's the next thing.
Oddly, it reminds me of, remember going into like the painting mode in A Link Between Worlds? And I feel like people said the same thing when we saw that. Like, what's that? Like, that's good. That's the new thing. You go onto the wall. And I thought that was awesome. I love that game anyways, but I feel like this might be one of those things, Yeah. Might just come in handy.
I really loved, okay, Micah, I don't know if you got into this part in the trailer. The grass gym leader throws out Pseudo-Wudo. And he goes, now I will give it the terrestrial eyes to change its typing from rock to grass. And he calls it the Trulio-Wudo instead of Pseudo-Wudo. And I'm like, what a power play. What a power play by
that's pretty good.
That gym leader. Yeah.
It finally makes sense. And it just gets like a massive flower on its head.
Oh yeah, Pseudo-Wudo. Sean has one on hand, right to throw in.
He's the best.
I mean, it's a classic. It's such a good Pokemon.
Yeah, he really is. He can finally live his dreams of being a tree.
Oh,
thanks to this game.
Good. I just laughed just looking at this. That's how my daughter poses for pictures, actually. Time for pictures, she does like this. That's awesome.
Oh man. Yeah, so I'm gonna refer to Armorogue and Cerulege as Mega Man and Zero, because
nice.
As was pointed out in our Discord by Monkey Thunder, he's like, these Mega Man and Zero Pokemon look real cool.
Hey, wait a minute, do these motorcycles wheels actually work? They do. That's new. The wheels work. You can. Oh, it's still got legs on that other one. Okay, well.
Yeah, and this seems to prove
they swim. That's awesome.
We're getting a live reaction right now. I feel like I should have the trailer up on the side. Oh, that would have been smart.
Oh, this looks great. Yeah, no, I'm day one, man. Like, I'm not even. I don't know.
I'm day one. I'm double pack buying this.
Oh, damn! You one up me just now.
Oh well, yeah. I wasn't trying to one up you.
I'm day one squared. I don't know. My wife might be.
I have never bought double. I mean, as a kid, like Pokemon first came out when I was still a lad. And so my parents would buy a different version for each of us kids. So we had access to all the versions. Four of us siblings that would get them that were old enough for it, and we would get two of each. But I have never done it personally, bought more than one. I know that's a thing people do. Like every time people are like, I'm going to buy both of them, and then I'll buy the third one if there's a third one. I am buying the double pack this time because I'm going to play with my son. I'm pretty excited to do the multiplayer mode, and it's cool. The double pack looks cool.
Yeah. How old is your son again?
He
15?
is 5.
He's 5, and he's all into that's awesome.
Yeah,
5.
Yeah. I guess I didn't mention this. I didn't play this week in What You're Playing, but my son played on stream Breath of the Wild, and he's going to beat it. That's the goal. Can a 5-year-old beat Breath of the Wild? And that's cool. I think the answer is yes. We are about halfway through our speed run of it, where he's 2 hours in. He's got almost the whole armor set that we're trying to get for him. I'm guiding him. I'm telling him what to do, but I'm not allowed to touch the controller.
Cheater.
Yeah. Well,
cheater, pumpkin eater.
He's already put in like a full amount of game time into the game on his own. He really likes Breath of the Wild.
Well, good for him.
My daughter does too. She just likes to run around with Zelda, but I've been really trying to teach her that's not Zelda, that's Link. But she doesn't get it.
Oh, rookie mistake.
She's like, it's Zelda. And then she runs him off the edge of the Great Plateau over and over again because she likes the sound effect of,
That's really good.
It's pretty. It's pretty cute. Yeah, I gotta say, I got pretty cute kids. I'm raising them right on Nintendo. That's the way to raise kids.
Yeah.
I think. don't put them in front of the TV. Put them in front of the Switch. Just kidding. Or just be a good parent and hang out with them and do stuff with them and play games. Yeah, but who's got time for that?
Yeah.
Okay, so this trailer was really cool. I'm pretty hyped for this game, but there was more information that wasn't shown in the trailer that also came out same time. Let's Go is a new feature, and it's not the game Let's Go Pikachu or Eevee. It's a new mode type thing you can do in game where you can have one of your Pokemon out and walking with you as you're exploring the region. And then you can choose Let's Go to send that Pokemon off in a direction that you indicate. That Pokemon you sent out will independently pick up items for you and will even engage in auto battles with nearby Pokemon. So he will do like automatic battling and leveling up. It'll earn XP and stuff without you having to do anything.
Sounds terrifying.
That's a big deal, I think.
It sounds like, the little birdie, the little chickie's going off to, learn how to survive out in the wild. But like, what do you do? Like, what if you throw a Charmander out there and then all of a sudden a rainstorm comes out and you don't even realize it, that he's in an area and there's a rainstorm. He's got to hide under a leaf so his tail doesn't go out. What if this happens? I'm very worried about this. As a parent, this is not the stress that I want in my video games.
Rip Charmanders.
What if they faint out in their auto battles?
Exactly.
They should make you go track them down and pick them back up.
Oh, it'd be so sad. You just you're wandering around. You're like, hey man, oh no, he's completely knocked out.
Cut to a cutscene of you just digging a hole.
No,
and then it moves on real fast.
You wouldn't dig a hole. You'd ask your Sandshrew to do it. Come on.
That is cool. It reminds me of, I don't know if you guys ever played, because I know it's not a Nintendo, but Fallout Shelter was very similar to this, like the Fallout mobile game. You could have like some of your people, your settlers or whatever, your survivors, vault dwellers. You send them off and then they hopefully survive, but they might die.
Yeah,
I'm worried about that. I'm very worried about this.
This is Pokemon. That's not going to happen. This is a utopia minus the fact that there's a bad guy team. And it's just a good place.
Everything's just going to be fine.
It's how it is in Pokemon.
Everything's going to be all right.
Everything's going to be all right. There's no need to stress. I mean, I don't feel like they would sell this game because the target audience for Pokemon is, everyone, but that includes children, and it's a very kid-focused game.
That explains the thirst traps. Yeah.
Yeah. Those didn't exist back in my day. Professor Oak wasn't smoking hot,
it's probably just due to graphical limitations. He probably has like an 8-pack
left your imagination.
Lab coat.
Professor Oak's probably very good looking. Yeah, he was brought back in Sun and Moon. Grew out his hair, wore a Hawaiian shirt. He looked like my grandpa. He's retired, enjoying the good life there. I see this here in chat from Mute Dog says maybe the next Splatfest would be which of the 3 starters you would choose. And I would have to go with I'd probably have to go with.
Don't do it.
What's her name? Fire.
Fuecoco?
Fire? She's going to pick Fuecoco, right? Fuecoco's.
That's what I'm picking.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, really? All 3 of us?
Right.
Hey, look at us.
We all agree on something?
I thought for sure you were going to go like Sprigatito or something like that. I don't know.
No, I think Sprigatito, because I'm looking at Fire, Shiver. Is that her name? Am I right?
Fry.
Fry, thank you. Fry is kind of like fiery. Shiver's kind of water, icy. And then I guess Big Man's left with Sprigatito. And he's like, which feels fitting. I could see Big Man holding a little kitty cat, he'd be like, look at this, hey! like he does. He doesn't talk, he just says, hey. Quaxley, we got a Quaxley.
No Quaxley. Yeah, Kevin,
a couple I see a couple Quaxley picks in the chat here. So there you go.
Oh yeah, Mew Dog. I see.
They're all good.
They really are.
This is one of the few generations where every starter is good, and it's just like, oh man, I hope that the third one looks good for all of them, because that's also a problem in Pokemon, where it's like these look great as starters, and then they evolve, and
When was the last time you think that is this the first time you think all three are great, or is there another one that you think of?
I mean, the original all three.
I think original, fantastic. Like for sure. Yeah,
original. I think I'm a fan of Gen 3. That is Torchic.
Oh yeah,
Mudkip and Trico. Yeah. I think those ones are all three really good. But besides that, I think Diamond was okay.
Who was alongside Chespin? Was that X and
Chespin had like
Fennekin and Froakie.
Fox.
Those are good. Those are good. Oh, yeah.
Really? Yeah. I thought Chespin was kind of awful.
What?
I think up to Gen 5, they're all good.
Wait a second. What did you say about my Chespin? What did you just say?
I thought Chespin wasn't that good.
Like just Chespin. Don't talk about like any of the evolutions, because he gets kind of like,
Yeah.
He puts on
Okay. Chespin by himself is great.
Yes.
But yeah, his evolutions, I'm not.
Was it Quixley or I don't even know. I don't remember.
I don't remember.
He just like puffs out, and I don't like. I don't like it. Like, go for a walk. Mudkip is great. Oh, Kevin, yes, definitely.
Mudkip is my favorite water Pokemon for sure.
Oh wow,
even better than
easily.
Better than Squirtle.
Totodile.
Yeah, easy.
Totodile's got the best personality.
Totodile. I got a Totodile from Nintendo World for my daughter.
Okay, but Fuecoco, it has Totodile energy, right? Like they both have that, like
totally
exactly
like crocodile, alligator.
Yeah. I'm really a big fan of Fuecoco. I'm gonna that's my go-to now. But I mean, I guess we'll see what the final evolutions look like, which I'm sure we'll see here in the next couple months.
I never want to know. I never want to know what these things turn into. I'm good with every single. Just if they stayed starter, just that base, I'm good.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like basically I don't know, this might be too general a statement to make, but like second evolution is just the worst. Or I guess the first one, like second stage, like it's
why is that?
Bad.
Wouldn't it be cool if they made the second evolution like one you'd want it, and you'd be like, well, maybe I don't want to evolve them. Like we never really had that, like Ash did in the show, where he's like, I want to evolve my Pikachu, but I really like Pikachu as Pikachu, and. But I've never had that problem.
Well, Pikachu is like they revised the whole thing. Like it isn't Pichu then Pikachu, then Raichu. So like they went backwards on. That's not how they originally meant for it.
And then they're like, well, Raichu, let's make him surfing now, and he's cooler now.
Raichu in my mind is second stage. Like I think Pichu's just totally separate. I'm rewriting my own.
Yeah, Pichu is a pre-stage.
Yes. Yeah.
What's the third stage then?
They don't need to be 3 stages.
Pikachu, like with his voice is cracking a little bit.
he's just
lightning.
A man with a Pikachu head.
No, he's just like a preteen mustache. Bad at driving.
Incredible.
Pikachu
thinks he knows everything.
I'm very excited for this game. Excited for all the new features. It looks great. I'm really hoping that the multiplayer is like full-fledged, but I'm not holding my breath for that. Like you can just play it. But if you want to play multiplayer full-fledged, a new game launched on Switch, Temtem, which has Temtem has been in early access for a long time. It's been out for a while on PC only, but has now launched on all platforms and is in 1.0. It is Pokemon, but it's an MMO. That's like it's shtick. It is very inspired by Pokemon, like, but it's its own original creatures, and instead of using Pokeballs, they're in like little data card things, but it's very similar. It looks really good. Micah, you remember Temtem from our days, from our days in college when we did our own Kickstarter to make a video game. We did that right around when Temtem had a very successful Kickstarter. It was like right after. So I had followed this game pretty closely because I was looking for ideas on how to have a successful Kickstarter campaign. And I've heard good things. It looks good. So we'll see.
It seems really cool. It's kind of just been so long that I feel like I've lost most of my interest.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, and I think this is poor timing for Temtem because we are like a month and a half away from 2 months away from a new Pokemon game. And it's like if Temtem had launched in the summer, like right at the beginning of summer, that would have been perfect timing to like really ride that Pokemon fan hype. And I think this is going to sell well on Switch, and it would have sold better if it had just come a little bit sooner, or if they had waited till after. But I don't know how long they want to wait.
You're not kidding. I'm looking at this right now. Like, this is Pokemon. Wow.
Mm-hmm. I mean, go look at this. This is clone. Like, I don't want to discount it because it's a small team and it is a very polished looking game. And the fact that they basically just were like, we've always wanted this to exist and it doesn't, and they went and made it. Like, that's cool. Like once again, the indie scene picking up the slack where the major companies aren't filling that, you know. So yeah, I had to shout it out. I think it looks cool. I think people should at least give it a look.
I wasn't sure about that statement you just made because it's like typically indies do fill in the spots that like bigger developers don't make games, but this is the opposite. These are indie guys making the exact games that the big guys are making.
Well, this is an MMO, which
maybe I'm overlooking how important that could be.
Which is something I think has been asked for from Pokemon for a long time.
I see what you're saying.
For there to be like online multiplayer, which they are introducing-ish with Scarlet and Violet. But
that's super intriguing.
When
it's
this came
expensive
out,
though. It's $60, and was it a $40 buy-in in the US? This must be a $40 game.
Mm-hmm.
So you think like MMO, 45. Like I feel like the barrier to entry for something that maybe requires a lot of people. I don't know. Maybe I'm talking out of my butt here, but
I
you know what I mean?
See it. I can see it. It's not an established IP and brand. I mean, if this was Pokemon, we'd be like, holy cow, this is a great deal, you know? Right. But because it's someone else, we're like, that's a little pricey, you know?
I mean, that's the crazy thing. Like, I think about something like Genshin Impact and think like, wouldn't we all be in trouble if Pokemon went to a free-to-play model in some way? I mean, technically we got that with Pokemon Go, I guess.
Pokemon Unite?
Yeah. I mean, like more traditional. Yeah.
Yeah. Micah, do you want to take this next news item? It's the one above the Temtem. I skipped down because it was too good of a transition, a segue to not pass up.
Yeah, we got some news on Dragon Quest Treasures, which launches November 9th.
Yes. And this looks to be very Pokemon-like as well. You're collecting monsters and using them to battle, but it's Dragon Quest.
And there's treasure. I assume.
Yep. And then, in addition to that, Ooblets just launched last week. Talked about it on the last podcast. My wife and son are really enjoying that game. So there's a lot of Pokemon energy right now.
Why not just throw it all at the same time?
I'm all for it. You know, it seems like everybody has the same idea at the same time because you know these games like aren't on the same development cycle. You know, they're not all. But how do they all end up releasing the same time? Because you watch like Gamescom and or like the Game Awards, and it was like all space horror shooters. You know, it's like, hey, remember Dead Space? How about 10 games just like Dead Space? And it's like, why? How did this happen? Where all of these are all being announced at the same time? Where's the variety? Yeah. We have. What is the sign behind you? I guess we probably should mention that for people that are watching the the video format. We have signs behind us. That is our Patreon supporters.
My handwriting isn't the greatest.
Mine are blurry, but yeah. So we have at the top tier levels, you get your name on the wall.
It's a pretty good idea.
It's like a fridge, like you get you color your picture, you go to mom and you're like, Mom, look at my picture. And she puts it up on the fridge with a magnet. Boom. We do that for you.
I literally have those for my kids right here on my whiteboard. Boom.
Oh my goodness. I love you. Oh.
I got lots. They're from Puff and Rock. That show's great. Little hearts. Rainbow colors on the hearts.
That is great.
We got lots here, guys.
I have a bunch as well, but my fridge is too far away.
My kids say that Dad, you are so good at playing Xbox, at making breakfast, at cuddling. Look at this. This is the cutest thing ever.
Playing Xbox is the number one thing.
Number one thing. Dad of the year.
Wow.
Got
Dad
this
of
from
the
my
year.
niece. Just chilling out here.
Wait, I don't have anything to show. All my kids' stuff
Some
is
people.
away.
Some people.
Some people's kids.
Wow, throwing your
I don't
kids
have
under
anywhere.
the bus.
Listen, I don't have anywhere to talk about this. I could save it for the post show, but I can tell you guys now. My son is taking his first steps. Not the 5-year-old, but the 1-year-old. Taking his first steps this week. It's so exciting.
I can't believe how many kids you have.
It's like a switch. Like crawling last week, walking this week. What happened?
Never go back. Never go back.
And here's the thing is, do you guys know how hard walking is to do? Like roboticists struggle with this so much. Like it's been a problem that's been like really hard to solve. And my 1-year-old solved it for himself. It's like crazy how like just their little brain is just hardwired to survive. It's so cool. Kids are cool, guys. Anyways, let's get back to Nintendo news and off on a tangent with Kiddo Zone.
That was my fault. Sorry. Congratulations. That's a big deal.
Yeah, thank you. And congratulations on being Dad of the Year, Xbox.
Really good at playing Xbox.
I love that list. It's like Xbox, making breakfast, cuddling. No, that's so funny. I love it. Kids
These are the things I do. That's it.
That's all I do.
I'm also good. I should say, one of the things that's on the list that is pretty cool. It says, "You are so good at teaching science and other stuff." That's pretty good. We talk about space a lot.
Nice. Last bit of news here. Splatoon 3 launches this week. So as of the date of this recording, it is not live, but it will be live. I want to talk to you about this, Sean, because you've been on the fence. So this is a group therapy session. How are you feeling? How are you feeling about Splatoon 3?
So quick plug. I had Rebecca from the Nintendo Shack on an extra special episode of the Nintendo Drive, youtube.com/carpoolgaming for a half an hour plus deep dive review discussion into Splatoon 3. She was able to play it during the review period. So I had some questions for her, man. Because you're right, I was not very blown away. I still had they're still missing this piece, and I don't think that this is going to be quite right, and blah, blah, blah. I was a little middling on the Splatfest, so I had some questions for her, and it sounds like it's going to be pretty good. I'm not going to lie. So, I just bought the game. But I'm being told that I cannot play it yet. We're still awaiting Nintendo to allow us on in. But yes, digitally, this game is now owned by me.
Excellent.
And we'll see how it is. I don't feel great. I will say I don't feel amazing about having to spend the money to buy this game, but everybody's going to be playing this game. And as I think I was mentioning before we started recording, maybe, who knows if we were recording, how can I speak poorly about it if I don't play it myself? So now I've paid with it with my own hard-earned money, and I will render my own verdict on this game.
So what's the major reason for holdout for you? Is it just are you in the camp, because I've seen a lot of discourse around this where people are like, this doesn't look like enough of an upgrade
from
Splatoon 2?
Yes.
That's kind of where you fall with it.
Pretty much, yeah. And I guess to take it a slightly higher level and maybe even more petty level than that is that maybe there's too much of this happening in video games in general, but perhaps especially with Nintendo, that it's like, you'll buy whatever we put out there. I feel that energy, and maybe that's not exactly what they're trying to put. Maybe that's irrational to say, but like, we'll put Mario on the cover. He's playing soccer. You'll buy 4 million copies. No problem. I hate that. I want Nintendo to be the best, to like show me what's possible in video games and to push the boundaries and to show that they like care. And this, we know we're good energy that I'm getting from them is like, it's off-putting to me. So that's kind of where I'm at with Nintendo overall. And yet here I am, like, what does that matter? Because I just spent 80 Canadian dollars on the game. So maybe I should just shut up and play the dang game, you know? Part of the problem.
Yeah, well, and you're also in the middle of Xenoblade 3, which you're saying is incredible. And that was
very good. Yeah,
big first party this year.
Mm-hmm.
Micah,
and it like it's proof of exactly what I'm saying. When Nintendo wants to be great, they do Xenoblade, and when they want to go like whatever, they do Mario Strikers.
Yeah,
it's like just will it, just make it happen, Nintendo. You can do it. I believe in you.
Yeah, I also really haven't felt awesome about Strikers, but besides that, I've liked everything I've bought Nintendo this year. Hey, Micah, how are you feeling about Splatoon? By the way, you're planning on picking it up day one as well, right?
Day some point soon, probably.
Yeah,
put it on the box.
I like to take my time buying things, but yeah, I'm planning on getting it relatively soon after launch. But I mean the first, I haven't played the second one, so it's still a pretty good change from the last Splatoon game I've played.
Yeah, I don't really have the spot where I can gauge it because I also am jumping into Splatoon for the first time here with Splatoon 3.
You know what? One of the weird things when I was talking to Rebecca though is this turf tabletop, the turf game, the card game, sounds awesome. Like, I'm not going to lie, and totally not joking at all, I think I might be into this thing.
Yeah, Mute Dog says Salmon Run and the puzzle game are going to be really cool. Yep.
I mean, like, the Salmon Run, I don't want to minimize. This is one of our biggest criticisms of Splatoon 2 was that Salmon Run was only available sometimes, and how silly was that?
It's going to be available all the time. Yeah.
Now it's available all the time. And it, that's great. I also think, like, part of me thinks like they could have just flipped a switch with Splatoon 2 and made that work as well. So like that's why I'm not always like totally over the moon with some of this stuff. And I think some of the reviews reflect this as well. Not that Metacritic scores are everything, but this isn't a 90. It's not a 100. It's a low to middle 80s kind of thing. And I think that's good. Like, Splatoon is still a great game. There's no way around it. But it's just that other, like, just go for the night, go for the game of the year, man. Like, go for the best thing you could ever do. And there's still these things that kind of hold it back every once in a while.
Although it does sound like the online in Splatoon 3 will be a lot better than it was in 2. So I feel like maybe this game came out a little earlier than it would have if they just had made the online better in the second one. Yeah.
And again, I bought the game so I can speak from experience. I'm just kind of like venting and being mostly hyperbolic at this stage. But I can't wait to try it out. I think we're all going to be putting this thing through its paces over the weekend, basically as soon as possible. I'm sure as soon as the Nintendo dads are done recording, and then it will all go live and we can just go have fun together. I love this notion of Splatfest now having 3 teams. Like, that is something that's kind of, I don't know. We're going to go so quickly, if we haven't already got there already, to just like taking that for granted. Like, we'll forget, like, remember the good old days? It was just two teams that you'd pick. I love 3, and I hope that's the standard. Give us 6. Like, give us 12, like, I don't know. Like, sounds amazing. Just make it absolutely ridiculous. Like, let me pick World Cup teams.
I had no idea how passionate people would be about rock, paper, scissors.
Oh, dude. Oh, of course.
Did you see the hype for this? And you know what? To be fair, a lot of that is just hype for big man. And then there was a strong anti-big man movement. I saw out there where people are like, I just want big man to lose. Oh, it wasn't
me.
No.
I would never do that.
Listen, it's one of those things. Anytime there's something good, popular, big, there's always that crowd, that's
but
like,
didn't he kill Steve Irwin?
I don't know if that was big man specifically.
A different big man.
I feel like that's profiling, and maybe a little bit not okay.
It might have been.
Do.
As soon as I said it, I thought that might have been painting with a pretty broad brush there. If you catch my drift.
Listen, Nintendo's already been very prejudiced to manta rays. Big man got absolutely slammed in this Splatfest. I
don't want to be put in hot water.
Listen, okay. Scissors was in the lead at the halfway mark,
and then Scissors got what was coming to it, crushed by the rock.
This is the first time that there's been a triple splat, and it was very much skewed against the winner. I thought like, this will be interesting to see how this balances. And I was like, holy cow. Did you play any of those matches? You weren't on Scissors, so you wouldn't know what it was like to be on the winning team.
Guess what happened though? Just to be super crystal clear, I was Team Rock. I was Team Rock from the moment they announced this thing. I was first on Team Rock. Never had my doubts. I said nothing beats Rock. That's science. That's the way that it works. Everybody, and to your point, nothing beats Rock. Nothing beats Rock. One of the things I love that there's whatever team you choose, you're gonna have two teams coming at you, like two groups of people.
It's so
no matter
fun.
what, that's
I
the
love
best. It. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Dynamite beats Rock. Yeah, that's the only thing. I play rock, paper, scissors with my kids, and they've introduced pencil or pen.
Mm-hmm. And it beats paper.
It beats paper. Writes on paper. Anyway, what were we talking about? What was I trying to get around to?
We're talking about hype cycle here with Splatoon, and you're talking about like the triple having three teams is really cool.
Yes,
I'm hoping that we have this kind of epic discourse around just silly things, like, oh, Scissors is way better than Rock, and Rock clearly is better. And who votes for paper? I mean, really, who does?
Seriously.
Like that, I hope that this happens every Splatfest from here on out while Splatoon 3 is active. So I am excited to see it, because I felt like you seen that meme. You've shared this meme to me of Conan outside the window looking in, sad.
Yeah, when you podcast with Seth.
Yeah, that's how I felt as a Nintendo player with Splatoon 2. Because I didn't have it. I could have got it, but I was just like, man, I don't understand. I'm so left out.
I remember what I was trying to say.
Of the party.
At the halfway mark, Scissors was in the lead. I saw this and I went, okay, time to get into the play here. I hadn't played anything until then. I jumped in after that tweet went out, and I'm just saying, I wasn't playing when Rock was losing. I started playing, and then Rock won. You're welcome, Team Rock.
I actually have a similar story. I was originally on Team Scissors, but then I had a friend I wanted to play with who was on Team Rock, so I created a guest account and used the free week. And so after the halfway, I only played on Team Rock. So I think it was me and you essentially carried Rock to victory.
We easily lulled them into a false sense of winning, and then just when you thought you had it, boom,
absolute
right off the
monsters.
Bench, changed the game, man.
Monsters. Well, speaking of carrying the team, why don't we head to the next segment? Or actually, that doesn't make sense for the next segment. I've already started. Let's just go to the next segment. It's the rumor mill. Each and every week, we go to the rumor mill to visit our buddies, the rumor Pikmin. We send out the rumor Pikmin on little adventures. They come back with rumors, and today they came back with some sad news. The rumored Nintendo Direct, that was never confirmed, by the way, it was all rumor, is now rumored to be delayed.
This is the worst.
For the Queen? I don't understand. but I guess I kind of understand. Do you guys know what's going on? What's happening here? Okay, so I do know news. The Queen has passed away. Condolences to everybody affected. That is very sad. But somehow this is causing a delay for the rumored direct that was supposed to be next week. Anybody know how that ties together?
Maybe she was going to present.
Oh my god!
I mean, I definitely would have watched. I mean, I would have watched it anyways, but I would have loved that if she would present a Nintendo Direct.
LPD in chat says it's a media storm. They want to be on. Yeah, they want to be on the top of the news cycle, and they don't want to compete with other news items. I guess that does make sense. I don't want to be like insensitive to the seriousness of the passing of the Queen, because I do think that's a sad and
my reaction. I want to be clear about what's going on with me here. Is it's not a confirmed direct, so that's already on shaky ground as it stands. And now we're talking about a delayed, not confirmed. Like it's just ridiculous. Don't we have anything else to talk about? It's kind of like really
Pokemon.
I know, but it's like, oh my gosh, man! That's one part of it. My other this is a very complex reaction. That's not the other side. The other reaction is just like, okay, well, if you're an insider, quote unquote insider, like now we're preemptively going like, I might not, like I think I'm going to be sick for work next week. Like I might not make it in. It's like, really, you're preemptively giving yourself an excuse for something that might not happen that already wasn't confirmed. It's just like, come on, man.
Like, yeah, a rumor of a rumor.
I do not like leak culture. I know it kind of is a paradox here because we have the rumor mill on our show where we talk about these things. We have fun talking about speculative stuff, but I really am not a fan of the leaker culture that has been especially prevalent for the Switch. Like, you know, these accounts weren't around for the Wii U. You know, there wasn't like I'm trying to think like Samus Hunter, you know, leaking. Oh man, Ultra Tennis Smash is coming.
No, we were worried about the NX, man. Remember that prototype that was sitting on somebody's desk? Looked like a little oval.
Oh yeah.
Leak culture was definitely in the Wii U. We just weren't talking about the Wii U. We were talking about the Switch.
Talking about the Wii U. Yeah. Now we're talking about the Switch and the next Switch.
We will never be satiated.
That being said, this one was kind of really steam powered. It was powered by Jeff Grubb, who was kind of the head corroborator. I'm really using words I don't know what they mean. But he's using Jeff Grubb was like the one really pushing this leak, and of insiders, which I don't really think of him as an insider. I think of him as a journalist that
he's an outsider,
catches things. Yeah. He's one of the guys that I don't mind listening to because he doesn't present the information like I know something you don't know. You know, like I cannot stand this like attitude of, oh yes, of course, we're going to be having a direct next week, and you peasants will get to see here's some code words for you. Mm-hmm. Arrows. Pink puff. What game could it be? You'll never know. I just cannot stand. I cannot stand this like pompous like know-it-all attitude that comes with so many of these of these leakers. I'm not going to name names here, but it just bothers me, and I just kind of tuned it out. But Jeff Grubb, he's still on the radar. But I am. Wait, or you say? Did you say call him out?
Yeah, call him out. Don't you said you're not going to name names? Call him out. Come on.
The other people?
Yeah.
No, I'll call out Jeff Grubb here and say that what the heck is this? Why did you do this? why did you come in here with this like, so dominating and then come in? Because this just makes it seem like it never was real. You know,
that's what it feels like.
It feels like it didn't get announced quite in time, and conveniently there's some news here that kind of
So, but here's the thing. So, like I kind of dispelled like my frustration. But here's where I'm at with it, though. I did expect, even the day before Jeff Grubb went on Nintendo Shack, I was on Nintendo Drive and I said, we were asked by our community, like, what's going on? And I was like, I predict within 10 days after Splatoon launches, we will get the next Direct, because they just want us to focus on Splatoon right now. We're all going to buy Splatoon. And then after they get all of our money, they're going to tell us what's next. So I was actually quite surprised to get a Pokemon trailer. That is not what I was thinking. I thought we had a clear path to Splatoon, no distractions, but we got a little Pokemon thing. So I was already thinking we were going to get a Direct. I thought it was like obvious, actually. So when he went on and kind of confirmed, it's like, okay, well that makes sense to me. I don't doubt it. Not because it's not confirmed. It just seems like that's what Nintendo would do. And I also think that based on Nintendo's reactions and their position in the market, their reactions to other worldly events, and they don't really have to do anything. They can do whatever they want. They're selling every console they could ever imagine. They're selling every piece of software they could ever want. And so like it would be great to have a Direct, but they actually don't need to. And so yeah, they could. I don't know that necessarily the passing of the Queen like forces their hand in any way, but it might just for them to go like, we don't have to be mixed in with this. It might be part of a respect thing, but it could also be just what's the chitter chatter like? It might be more just strategic more than anything. And online chatter is going to be dominated by the Queen for the next foreseeable, probably, an extended period of time that is maybe more than typical for an occurrence, like some sort of news story. So depending on when the funeral is and all the memorials that are going to happen and everything, like I think they're just getting out of the way of that. I think the cold-hearted, like kind of like the business, business Justin would say something like, they're just going to get out of the way of that. They're going to get out of the way of the noise, and they can wait after that. They can play it off like it's out of respect, which maybe there's an element of that as well. But yeah, I think it's mostly, if this is a real thing, then they just want to get out of the way. Funerals next weekend, says Kevin in the chat. So,
or it was just never real. I mean, that's a possibility. And I don't know. I'm done with the guessing when Directs are going to be. I just don't. I just would. I've heard great discussion on All In this week where they were talking about like it'd be cool to just get transparency, full transparency. Like, hey, this is what to expect. We're gonna have Directs this time frame, and this time frame, and kind of just beat leakers at their own game. Yeah, it's
I feel
already
like they could
out.
do that. I honestly feel like they could come out and say, we have a Direct ready, but out of respect of this, it's gonna I could actually see them doing that.
I think it would be cool. It would be a 180 for Nintendo to all of a sudden be like, here's a schedule of when we're going to have Directs this next year or something like that, and times to look forward to them. Because I mean, the Shadow Drop, as fun as it is to get a surprise, it's like, who are these for? They're for the hardcore fans, and the hardcore fans are scouring for that information. So it's not like,
oh, you think Nintendo would ever want to squash people wondering when the next Direct is going to happen? This is the best thing that ever happened to them. Nobody wonders when the next Xbox thing is going to be. Not like this. Like they wonder, but they go like,
you're true.
Like this is the best thing ever. When is the next Direct? And everybody somehow is making a living off of declaring when the next Direct is going to be. It's like that's crazy. Other platforms would kill to have that sort of free discussion just happening on the internet.
Yeah.
They would never come out and say like, all right, we've had it with you guys talking about us.
Here you go. Here's your Directs for the next year.
There's no way.
To you all right now.
They lean into it hardcore. Even the fact they can be so bold. I feel like we've forgotten how bold it is for them to go, tomorrow's a Direct. That's huge. Or whatever. 2 days from now, there's a Direct. Cancel your plans. Stay home from school. Do whatever you have to do. Watch your thing. Like,
I want notice.
No, but that's what I'm saying. That is we're number one move. That's if you're number one, you can do that. You can just say like you'll find time to do it.
I mean, and they are number one when it comes to presentations. I mean,
Big
by
time.
a long shot.
Big time.
It's just not even close. I mean, The best competitors are the small ones. Wholesome Direct.
Look at Ubisoft. Ubisoft has like a direct or a presentation coming up. They told us like 2 months ago. Like, book your time off, man, so that you can watch this and make sure you clear your schedule.
Yeah.
They're not number one, and I love Ubisoft, but yeah, Nintendo has this amazing ability. They've had it since the Switch itself. The way that they did, like, remember the Mario like peeking behind the curtain? And it's like the first look at the next Nintendo console is whatever, tomorrow or Wednesday or whatever it was. And like, that's how they did it. This, like, there's this out of nowhere, this shadow drop, and everybody loses their mind all at once collectively. They're pushing grandmas onto foam mattresses and everything just so they can watch the trailer.
Yes.
They'll never give that up.
Yeah. I'm just sick of leaker culture.
I
want it to die.
I'm pretty much with you. I think it's fascinating the fact that there's a platform out there that employs however many tens of thousands of people, sells millions of pieces of hardware around the world, and also is allowing people to make a living off of talking about if there's going to be a direct or not, or like what the next like Zelda game is going to be or whatever. Like,
yeah,
it's creating livelihoods. It is bonkers when you think about the ecosystem that is kept alive by Nintendo and other video games. I think it's amazing.
Yes, it's cool. And you know, it gives us stuff to talk about here.
Yeah, you brought it up
in the rumor mill. I did. It was me. It was me. So no direct next week.
I love it. I love the fact. Like, hang on. There's a leaked piece of information, and I just want to say I hate leakers. Don't talk about it then. Like,
I told you it was a paradox. I led with that. I said it's a little weird. We have this section on our show.
Yeah.
But it's because we want to cover all the bases. Even the bases I don't like to cover, I cover them here. That's
you cover
journalism.
All the bases?
Well, everything family friendly.
Okay.
We have standards, all right?
Okay. Clearly.
Cover 4 to 5 bases.
Well, speaking of standards, why don't we come to a standard section of our show here? And this is going to be our closing segment for today, and that is the Community Corner. Oh, alrighty. In today's Community Corner, we've got a bunch of questions, and Sean's going to get some visual aids, some show and tell stuff. But first, we will ask the question. Micah, you can ask the first one.
Asked by Presto the Magnificent, what's the best game that came out in 1989?
I looked at the wrong year.
Fool.
I looked at 1998, which doesn't make sense. We would have skipped a lot of years. He's been asking this question recurring every week, a new year, and I love it. Thank you for the question, Presto. Shout out to Presto for asking that question. Let's see here. Do you have an answer for this one, Micah? 1989.
Of course I do. Tetris.
For the Game Boy?
Yep.
Nice. Okay.
I was thinking that, or where is it? Sky Shark? I haven't played that game, but it sounds awesome. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles came out in 1989.
Yeah, but that's like the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I haven't played that one. I haven't played a lot of games from 1989. I'm looking now. I'm like, Mario Bros. 2? I'll say Mario Bros. 2. Did that come out in 1989? USA?
Maybe in Japan?
No. Hang on.
I don't see this
Released
Mario Bros.
in
2 on this fancy list.
Why is this? Okay, I'm looking. That was 1993. I'll come back to it. I like that game. Do you have an answer for this, Sean? 1989, best game.
It's a funny, like, I don't know if you guys already mentioned this, but like depending on like where it was released.
Yeah,
like
this is a problem. Yeah, this is a problem in the 80s, 90s, where like localization took a million years.
Forever, no kidding.
So
Yeah, I mean, it's probably Super Mario Bros. And Duck Hunt combo, I think, is the answer. Like, I think you were probably all looking at the same Wikipedia page here. There's like 4 options in the United States, it seems.
I'll probably... Man, I really don't know, because it's like I just have not played any of these things, and I don't want to copy Micah, but like Tetris is the only one I've played.
That's why I answered quick.
Well, I'll copy Micah. Tetris. I say Tetris is a good game. Shout out to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, though, which is such a unique game. Like, if it's got permadeath for the turtles, if you lose a turtle, he's gone. You just have to go on with the other ones. It's pretty cool.
It's a little dark.
But cool mechanic. Thanks so much for the question, Presto. Next question from Lava Plays. What's your favorite game from 2004?
I just got to say, after Lava Plays asked that, Presto, the Magnificent said, that's illegal.
Yeah, we'll get to this question again eventually. Micah, what's your answer here? This is a hard one for you. This is GameCube era.
But actually, secretly, not that many games came out in 2004. So I got to go with Metroid Prime Echoes.
Really? Okay.
According to the list I looked at, and I'm not looking too hard, because then that would make my decision difficult, potentially.
That's a good answer. I think I'm going to go with Paper Mario, The 1,000-Year Door.
Yeah, see, that wasn't on the list I looked at, and I was like, interesting.
Which one would you pick first? 1,000-Year Door or Metroid Prime 2? I think you'd go 1,000-Year Door, honestly.
Yeah, I might go 1,000-Year Door. I
know you so well. Yes.
Echoes, I think, might be, in my opinion, the weakest of the primes.
Yeah.
Plus,
if it was 1,000-Year Door,
just holds up a little better, I think, nowadays.
If it was 1,000-Year Door versus original Prime.
I probably have to go Prime. Although, like I mentioned, I do think 1,000-Year Door probably holds up better than original Prime. Just because the game style.
Sean, you got a pick for 2004?
This is not a good year for Nintendo, you guys. I'm just going to put it out there.
Whoa! Wait a second. We just named 2 incredible games. Like, potentially one of the greatest Mario RPG games of all time.
Wait a second. The 1,000-Year Door released in Japan. Was it also released in North America at the same?
I assume so. I thought in the 2000s they got their act together on localization, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, I don't know.
Metal Gear Solid: The Twin Snakes, Custom Robo.
I never played that one. I can't even say that I cannot. How about I say Starsky and Hutch on GameCube? Minish Cap might be the answer. Yeah,
Four Swords Adventure is on there as well.
Lots of GBA stuff, but I think we're going to get to that.
Are we? Is there a question about that? I haven't previewed the questions this week.
There is indeed.
Okay, look at me.
Okay, Micah, hit us up with our next question. Thanks for the question, Love Plays. Like, that was a good one. I'm excited because we've been asked every year since. When did we start this? Whenever
like
year the NES
or something.
Yeah, whatever year the NES came out. So eventually we're gonna get to 2017 when the greatest game of all time released. 1-2 Switch.
Yeah, that's where we'll end.
Sean is unfazed. He's like, I don't
still
care.
reading through this list, like maybe Mario Party 6.
Breath of the Wild is the best game of all time. Like, that's not even an argument with me, unfortunately.
Next question. Queen Beth of Chat Rule asks, what is your favorite Game Boy Advance game? So yes, there was a question about Game Boy Advance games.
What do you got for us, Sean? Sean has
Sims 2 Pets.
Oh, yeah.
I actually
in
have
the box. In the box.
Need for Speed Carbon in the box. This is actually really great what they used to do with these Yoshi's Island.
I love the remasters of the SNES games.
Super Mario Advance 3, which is actually Super Mario 5. So weird.
But it's just Yoshi's Island again.
It's just Yoshi's Island. Yeah, it's after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've got a bunch here, man. I've got 2K Sports Major League Baseball 2K7 on Game Boy Advance. I don't even know where this came from, to be honest with you. What else we got in here? We got a bunch of stuff. We got Spider-Man on Game Boy Advance. We got TMNT Game Boy Advance. This is good stuff.
Spider-Man
dude.
on the Game Boy Advance is actually a really good game.
Pretty good.
I really liked it.
That might be all in this box. I think that's all I got. None of those are the best games on Game Boy Advance, though.
Falcon says Sean has the classics. That's what some might call it.
Yeah.
Some might.
I don't have the box for Mario Kart or anything actually good, but yeah. Like,
what's your pick? What's your pick for best then?
Well, I don't know if I can even say bet. Like, I played a lot of Mario Kart Super Circuit. Like, that might be my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
I think is maybe the best way for me to tackle this question. Like, that was one of my favorite games, but I did miss out on a lot. I never played Fire Emblem on. I actually didn't play Minish Cap. I just imagine it's probably pretty good. But yeah, probably I was misguided. What can I say? During the GBA, I guess. It was my remaster thing, you know?
What do you got, Micah? What's your pick?
I think I might have to go with the Golden Sun / Golden Sun: The Lost Age.
That's a good pick. Yeah, I know it's a cult classic, but you're a member, the president of said cult.
Might go Mario Golf. Shout out to Mario Golf.
I am going to pick Pokemon Emerald, which is potentially potentially my favorite Pokemon generation. I really love the music and the atmosphere, and it's like the peak of pixel art, you know? And then they went to the more 3D style with Diamond and Pearl. It's still pixel art, but much more 3D'd. And then I'm going to also go with another out there pick. Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. I'm a big fan of the Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories game. There are better ways to play it now because they remastered it in 3D. But at the time, a portable Kingdom Hearts game, that was mind-boggling. Man, my collection is stashed somewhere. I don't actually know where it is at the time, right at this moment. But I have a bunch of Pokemon games, and I think I have Super Mario Advanced, whatever Super Mario. Yep, that one. That's one I got.
For whatever reason, I have two of these: Super Mario World, which is Super Mario
maybe
Advance
that's
2.
Mine. Maybe it's.
I think I have yours. Yeah,
that's mine right there at Sean's house. And then Mario Bros. 3, whatever when they remastered for that one. I also have a Sonic one, like original Sonic the Hedgehog.
Dude, these are so good.
So there you go. That's our picks for best names. That's a pretty wide spread. Mario Kart, Golden Sun, Pokemon, Kingdom Hearts. I think we
also
covered
made a
everything
mess for this question. Like, I've got an absolute disaster to clean up here.
Well,
these games.
Well, we'll keep them out there because the next question from Purple Riolu is to add, what is your least favorite GBA game? I have this like memory of playing The Incredible Hulk on GBA. Oh, that's not true. That's not true. Oh, I did do that, but I just thought of a worse game. Pirates of the Caribbean.
Nice.
For the GBA. It was so bad.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with Sims 2 Pets. I think might be my answer.
I thought that was in the running for your favorite.
Yeah, probably. I don't think so.
I think I got to go with Spy Hunter.
Pirates of the Caribbean
Dude,
on
this is
GBA
complete in box. Like, how much is this worth?
Such a bad game. Also, Jack Sparrow does not look a thing like Jack Sparrow in the movie. Everybody look it up. He just does not look right.
What's that website that Dan uses to see how much games are worth? Price something?
Good question.
Price charting? Pricechart.com?
I'm going to look some of these up. Like, this TMNT is in good shape, man.
Well, thank you so much for the question, Purple Riolu. I guess we'll move to the next question. Micah, go ahead.
Ember Aqua asks, what is your favorite kind of sandwich? I feel like, didn't we answer this like 2 weeks ago or something? This question seems so familiar.
It does seem familiar, but
although I don't remember my answer, so.
I think I might have said egg salad. I'm a big fan of egg salad.
That's a terrible sandwich.
What kind of sandwich do you pick?
Whatever my heart desires at the time.
Okay. A good PBJ?
Heck nah. My heart never desires that. It's a terrible sandwich. It is truly awful.
I quit
the worst
the show.
of all sandwiches.
Quit the show. If you're quitting the show for Micah's food opinions, I would have quit a long time ago.
Unforgivable. What are you talking about?
It's not good.
That's my answer.
Your answer is PB&J?
PB&J.
That's your spite answer, but what's your real answer?
It was going to be my real answer.
Really?
There's no way PB&J is your favorite sandwich.
I mean,
of
if you get the
there's so many
perfect
possibilities.
PB&J, you get that nice white bread that is like for Texas toast, you know, like the thick cut, and you just slather that peanut butter and jelly on there, like thick, like everything about this sandwich is thick. Like, boom, that's a good PB&J. It gets a little stuck to the roof of your mouth.
Yeah.
Good sandwich time. Peanut butter banana sandwiches are goat.
Peanut butter honey, also underrated, undertried. Give that a try.
Oh, I love peanut butter honey. Yeah, it's pretty good. My kids request that one all the time. Yeah.
Save the Game Media. It's time for me to start flipping games on the internet. It's happening.
You're going to do it while we podcast. New segment on our show. It's how much is this Sean game worth?
Trying to figure this out, man.
If you find a price, let us know and we'll try and guess it.
I might need a little bit of help here. Need for Speed Carbon on Game Boy Advance. Like, this is new. This box is in good shape. It's got a manual and everything.
Why do you have it?
I don't know. That's a good question. I have no idea.
I have no idea. Yeah, so I'm gonna stick with my answer of egg salad. It's really good. And I recently discovered. Yeah, have you had egg salad sandwich?
I have, yeah.
I recently discovered that you can have it with avocado as like the base instead of using like mayo, and it's very good. Really like that. All right. We have a series of questions here from Presto the Magnificent. We already asked his annual. It's not annual. It's every episode. Yearly. Yeah, no, every episode. His regular question of what like the next year. So next time we'll be talking 1990 games. So I will try to remember to look it up in advance for once. But here's the next question from Presto. What's the best Xbox game? Ooh, this is a good one because we've got an Xbox guy here. The Xbox guy.
How did you know?
How did he know? It's like he listens to both of our shows. Micah, do you have an answer?
Halo Combat Evolved, probably.
Probably.
Assuming that came out on the original Xbox.
Is this the original Xbox we're talking about?
Oh, interesting. Oh, I was thinking just all Xbox.
Okay, let's talk all Xbox and original Xbox because my answer is also Halo Combat Evolved.
Wow, just copying me this whole time.
We like play the same games, man. It's like we grew up together or something.
This ended up going on to other consoles, but it started on Xbox. And
Isn't that the story always?
I know. I love and adore Ori and the Blind Forest. Ori and the Will of the Wisps. That is a beautiful, beautiful game. I feel like it is also maybe a little outside of the typical, people should play Halo, Gears, and Forza, that sort of thing. But outside of that, Ori, right up there, man. It's real good.
I am a big fan of... I wouldn't say big fan of, because I haven't beat any of these games, but the Fable series. I think it's pretty cool. That's Xbox exclusive, right?
Xbox exclusive.
Pretty sure.
Yeah.
So that's what I'd say for like all Xbox. You got something else for all Xbox, Micah?
Halo?
The rest of it?
all of it?
Halo
other,
just
like Xbox exclusive. I mean, Gears of War is pretty good, but I haven't really played that much.
Halo was just revolutionary. Like Halo, the original trilogy, revolutionary in what it did for the first-person shooter genre, and also a story-based first-person shooter. Just a really great all-around. Great multiplayer, great single player. Awesome. Halo 2 for life, says Seth.
Nice. Yes, hey, Seth.
The next question is from Purple Riolu. I know it can be common to pick up on and replicate words, expressions, and even the sound of someone's laugh from the people around you. But I am curious if you have ever caught yourself saying something or sounding like a podcaster or YouTuber you watch or know. I have a story for this, but I want to hear your answer first, Sean.
I think I might have picked up Ed Placencia's laugh from Married to the Games.
What's that sound like? I haven't listened to Married to the Games.
Well, it's when I laugh. I don't know. It's just a.
All right.
Say something funny.
Say so. Yeah. Tell me a joke.
Now I'm gonna. Well, people can scrub back.
We'll have to go back.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Ed Placencia probably. But the other thing too, I mean, there's probably lots. I listen to endless podcasts, mostly on 2x speed, so maybe that's why I talk a little faster.
Talk faster. Sure.
Yeah, I think that's probably why.
I can't say that I've picked up stuff from listening to other podcasts, other than maybe a skepticism towards everything from Nintendo.
Damn.
It's weird because once you're in like the news cycle of Nintendo, it's like every time Nintendo releases something, okay, like this is not to the podcast, this is not to any individual person or anything like that. It's just I remember the days before I was like closely following the news. You know, I saw a direct here and there. I didn't watch every direct. I mean, this may shock people, but I was not always as into the news side of things. I've always been into the games. I love playing the games, but I wasn't like hardcore following the news until I discovered it and was like, "Ooh, this is super cool." But once I got into that space, I started to like not be as excited for every release. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Did you experience? Have you experienced that in your podcasting career? It's like a game comes out now and instantly I'm questioning, like, is it going to be good? Instead of just like being excited, because I would just not care before, like, oh boy, a new Mario game's coming out. You know, I'm like, hey, cool. And I think I still have a bit of that energy, but it's definitely become more skeptical.
Yeah, Datsun in the chat says, I think it's because you're older. Yeah, that's just
that's true. Maybe
we're getting grumpy. I don't know. I don't think so. Not necessarily that, but I remember being very frustrated when I was paying more attention, like back in the early days, especially in the Wii U. When the Wii U launched and I was excited about it, and it seemed like anybody who was commenting on Nintendo at the time was taking their chance to just shoot it down. And it's like, I remember almost like taking it personally back then. Like, why isn't anybody giving this thing a chance? Any opportunity anybody had to take it down, they did. And I always felt like that narrative was very strong and it weighed it down and convince other people to not give it a try. So I see that still, not necessarily with Nintendo, but every once in a while, a narrative grapples a game or whatever, a new idea. And that's, people are brainwashed almost. It's scary. Like it's a mob mentality that happens sometimes where people are just repeating the same thing. Maybe that's to your point, but it's almost like they're not even thinking for themselves.
Sometimes it's warranted.
Sometimes,
right?
For sure.
But even still, it seems like it's just like this, like, does there need to be a mob every time something bad happens? It's like, maybe we just ignore it.
I just
go
remember
to the next thing.
Wii U, like the narrative there was like, I'm so confused. Like, what is this? It's like, it's not that confusing. Like, just read a paragraph and it's the next console. It's got new games. It's backwards compatible. Like it wasn't that confusing. It used controllers. Like, I don't know. I hate every time somebody says, I'm confused by this. It's like, it's kind of your job to know it at the very least, especially back then when it wasn't just like Yahoos like us doing podcasts. Like these were like legitimate journalists supposedly. And I don't understand it.
Oh man, I could go on a rant. I could go on a rant about like big brand podcasts at this point. It's like how did
what
you
separates?
Not like throw a filter on the top of this audio? Like that's easy. I can do that from my house, and I do it from like it's crazy.
Oh yeah, I mean when the pandemic hit especially, and everybody moved from their amazing podcast rooms to how the rest of us have been doing it from the start.
To us peasants level.
Yeah, well, like we all mastered this long ago, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, Seth in chat's like, don't get me started. Yeah, I've ranted with Seth. Seth and I have long Discord rants back and forth on that kind of stuff. Oh, we have a good time. I want to circle back to the question, though, because I didn't really answer the question. Micah, do you want to like take this one? Because you and I and our friend group are notorious for the pick up and replicate.
Yeah, I mean,
you know,
I feel like we've all just morphed together. I don't remember or know what came from who.
What I don't remember being an individual. Now we're all just one. I turned his audio up to full blast on Discord. That's why you can hear him now, guys.
I can hear him better too. You don't control my audio.
Theoretically, I should be almost 5 times louder.
Yeah, it does sound a little grainy.
I found some obscure settings that somehow got set to my mic setting got set to like 21 instead of the 100 I think it's usually at. So I don't know how
what's wrong.
Unplugging it and plugging it back in changed that, but apparently that happened.
Classic.
Okay, yeah, I fixed it on my end as well. Okay, so yeah, we like this is the thing. My wife pointed this out to me. She's like, whenever you're around Micah, you all of a sudden become like you guys are like the same person. And it's not that I change. It's just like we just feed off each other. And maybe it's, you know, we've been friends since like freshman year of high school and prior, if you count like the Cub Scout years.
If you count the forgotten times.
The forgotten times that we don't remember each other. But it's not just us, it's our other friends as well. Like Kyle, Jacob, Lincoln, our whole crew there. We all kind of morphed into we all laugh at the same we would come up with the same mannerisms too, and it usually became from like making fun of something someone did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Did you have this with your friends, Sean, where it's like, so there was a time where I got exasperated and I instead of doing like a face palm, I did a face point.
It's like a little bit of Italian in there or something.
Yeah, it was like, and then that evolved. Everybody thought that was so funny that I did that. They started doing it too, and that evolved into 2. So now we got like, anytime something exasperating happens, we're like, and then if it's really exasperating, you blow it up. Why?
You got to do it a couple times. You think you're over it, and then you're not. You just have to go back.
The thing is, these you think like, oh, that must have like these are like one-offs. This happens still. I think the peace out thing is like new. That's new, right? We start saying peace out at the end of every conversation, and I feel
like that's one that we kind of brought back.
Yeah, one from me where I went to do, you know, the classic pump the chest twice and flash a peace sign, like peace out,
like the Sammy Sosa. That was a Sammy Sosa.
Yes, a Sammy Sosa, but I mixed it with a salute. My brain couldn't decide what to do, so I did a Sammy Sosa off my forehead. And so Micah and I are now doing that to each other at the end of like every call. And yeah, it's funny, and it's funny how that just happens for us with our friend group. When we play games together, I scream a lot more. I think that's for sure.
Is that because you're just like losing all the time, or?
Oh no! Is it because we're just screaming? I don't know what it is, but I love it. I think it's fun. I feel like we have this like weird sibling-esque relationship because I have this kind of stuff. You have that kind of stuff with family members, right? Where like you get around your family. I see here in chat, Seth's talking about how he's got Chicago Seth when he's with his family in Chicago, and it's like, yeah, definitely have that group. My family is all quoting family videos back to each other. We have our like family jokes, and I got that with my friend group with Micah and our old high school gang and our college buddies. It just kind of all morphs and centers around our friendship, which is cool. So not from YouTubers or podcasters per se. I have a saying that I have picked up from watching YouTubers, and that's "Let's go." Let's go.
Oh yeah.
And I did not use that prior to watching those guys, but it's there's not a substitute for it. I when I started doing it, I was like, I feel too old to be saying this. Like I'm not like a young teen or early 20s guy, you know. Like I'm not out here throwing out like, I don't know what's slang the kids are using these days, man.
I feel like anything I'd say is like 3 years past, probably.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Lit,
Let's go.
fire.
I felt. Yeah, I'm pretty sure
On fleek.
Pretty sure that's out. On fleek.
Pog. I can't say pog. I don't
Pog.
understand it.
Yeah, I can't. I can't do pog. Or poggers.
Or bet.
Bet. Oh yeah, I can't. I
do
can't
it.
do those things. And the problem is, I just don't feel qualified. It's not that those are bad words,
It feels wrong.
and when they're used by people the right age, good. But it's like if my grandpa came in and he's like, "Oh, that's pretty lit," you know, I'd be like,
Yeah.
"Grandpa, stop. Just don't."
Yeah,
Well,
just
that's
don't.
just gatekeeping. Wow. Let your grandpa say what he wants to say within reason.
No. Maybe you shouldn't say web.
No.
Maybe grandpa should keep
There's
some
like a
things
point where you're
himself.
like you can't say that. You're too old to say that, you know?
Or times are different, grandpa. You can't say that anymore, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, that's why
That's
I did
more
within
often what
reason.
Yeah, that's more often what happens. Yeah, Grandpa, please don't say that ever again. Another question here from Purple Riolu. Do you want to ask this one, Micah? Question
got
for
like a
it starts
lost-
question for the show.
That's
Yeah,
like
sorry,
the last
I'm
like 3
throwing you on the
questions. I'll
spot.
say that. Okay, yeah. Question for the show. Have you ever felt obligated to get/play a game to be able to talk about it on the podcast that you otherwise probably would not have?
I don't know. Did we just peer pressure Sean into buying Splatoon 3?
I feel attacked.
Does this? I know this happens to you, but I also know that you just enjoy buying games. Like that's a hobby. As Kato says, there's a hobby for buying the
We'll
games.
play the games.
And there's a hobby for playing the games. Like
We
there's a
just buy the
collector
games.
hobby and there's the playing hobby. Grand Pog.
yes.
Please, no.
That needs to be a thing. Someone make an emote for that.
Grand Pog. Yeah, well that'll be an emote. We'll make like an old man Micah. Like what else? But yeah, so does this happen to you, Sean?
Splatoon just happened. Yes, definitely. Well, both for the podcast, but I think probably even more so, it's still part of the equation, I guess, is everybody's just going to be playing this game, you know? Like it's definitely a fear of missing out, but yeah, I gotta back up all the salt I've been throwing on Splatoon 3. Like these Inkling boy and girls, these Octolings, they're gonna dry up from all this salt. It's very dangerous for me to throw all this salt on Splatoon. So I gotta play it.
So you can
Like a
throw
snail.
informed salt.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
don't want to be throwing
The right kinds
uninformed
of salt.
salt.
Not ignorant salt.
Knowledge
Informed
salt.
sodium. Mm-hmm.
Man, informed sodium. I love that. That
right.
should be a new thing.
New shirt.
Does this happen to you, Micah? I
I
don't think this happens to Micah.
there have been a couple times you've kind of tried to pressure me into getting things ish.
It doesn't work.
Yeah, it
Exactly.
doesn't.
Never,
No,
you
there's
never
no way.
have.
That's right. I'm too strong.
You're the rock. You are a rock when it comes to this kind of stuff. Micah is very savvy
Frugal?
financially, like
that's
frugal.
Some good way. That's some good ways to put it.
That's a better way to put it than what I did. Savvy, meaning would mean I'm giving you credit.
Yeah.
No, you're frugal.
It's
Which is good.
at some point some might consider it a disorder almost. I glued my phone case back together like a dozen times. It was 20% glue, and I just didn't want to spend the like $8 to get a new phone case.
$8 in glue to keep it together.
But for real though, I practically did. I was gluing it back together like every 3 days. It was rough.
So
I have to be convinced.
This happens
to buy something.
I think I am in between, which is great. This is a very good visual here. I do feel pressure to buy games just to talk about them, even though I'm maybe not interested in them, like Xenoblade. Yeah. Although I am interested. So I'm at like this weird spot.
You feel
with
the
games.
pressure. You don't give in to the pressure.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do though. Like I got Kirby's Dream Buffet. That wasn't one I was thinking I would get.
Who was pressuring you to play that game? Nobody was pressuring you to play that game.
I mean, I was probably actually just going to get that one.
Yeah, and Micah, that's like the one that Micah bought.
You just wanted to play it.
See, yeah, maybe that is.
I see through your.
He just pretends so he feels better about his purchases. I mean, I had to get Dream Buffet because there's all this pressure to buy.
But here's the thing: is I just can't. There's at this stage there are too many games coming out that are high quality games. You know what I mean? And some of those games are 100-hour games. Xenoblade is easy, can sink that much time in. Then we had another RPG around that same time, Live Alive, the Triangle Strategy this year.
Yeah.
Wait a second. You said this was a bad year. What about Triangle Strategy?
I didn't say it was a bad year. I just had my feelings hurt a couple times.
You were the poster boy for Triangle Strategy.
Yeah, Triangle Strategy is a great game and a great name. Who wouldn't want to buy a game called Triangle Strategy?
I'm very looking forward to the sequel, Square Strategy.
Oh my
a whole nother side.
No. Revenge of what's it? Pythagorean. Pythagorean's Revenge.
So I feel the pressure on occasion. I think Strikers was one I gave into pressure. Strikers is really not one I knew I wasn't. That's not true. I was hopeful I would like it, but I haven't really dug the series prior. But then sometimes I feel the pressure, and then I get a game I love. Rhombus Strategy. Like Mario Golf, which is another one that you didn't like that one. I loved that game. I loved
garbage. Hot garbage.
Exactly. Especially
Bobby
the
would
super
say
rush
hot
mode.
garbage in the summer. Terrible.
Man, I guess I like garbage.
You like you like tossing your golf ball into a tornado and wondering where the heck it's going to end up after that. Sounds awesome.
Yeah,
super fun.
They're like, oh, you're in last place in this like super rush mode. We'll let you go first so that everyone else after you can hit you with the ability and knock you into the water or something.
Yeah, genius design. Awesome. You had the perfect game on the 3DS. Just give us the 3DS game. God.
So yeah, I felt a little bit of pressure with the release hype with that one to get that one, and I'm glad I did because I really liked it.
Oh, I skipped it. No, I didn't. I have it digital.
No, you didn't. You're complaining about it.
That's the
You're
term
throwing
here.
informed salt.
Informed sodium.
This is informed salt. I bought it digitally. I couldn't even give it back to GameSpot. How frustrating. What am I supposed to do with this useless piece of digital garbage? Sorry.
Did your kids like it? My kids liked it.
I don't even think they played it. That might be the saving grace of it all. Tennis was better. I'll say tennis was better.
It's like when you have food you don't like and you give it to that one member of the family that'll eat anything. That's me. In my house. Like, oh yeah, sure, I'll take it.
I will say, like, as much as my kids do like playing some video games, like they don't crave it. You know, it's very because they can play whatever they want. We have all the games. They could do whatever, but they do other stuff.
They could be playing Sims 2 Pet. Sims
They
Pets
could be
too.
playing Sims 2 Pets
right now.
It's right here.
brand new.
They could be playing Spyro on the Nintendo DS or Star Wars, Lego Star Wars 2.
Very cool.
I got a lot of good games in here.
Lego Star Wars 2 on the DS is a good game.
Team on 3DS. Look at that.
Oh man!
Alongside Mario and Luigi, something. Paper Jam.
So I don't know. I just think there are games that I've been like, this wasn't for me. But
did you play World Tour on 3DS?
No, I didn't. That was my first.
That's how I knew you didn't. I knew you didn't play. If you like Mario Golf on
Super
Switch,
Rush,
it means that you did not play 3DS World Tour. This is an excellent game.
Yeah, I need to play it because I think I would like it a lot. Because if I like Super Rush, then I play that and pretend it's the sequel.
Yep.
Then I love Mario Golf, where everybody else is disappointed. Okay, I'll go to the next question here so we can wrap up. We've been going for 3 hours. Apologies. Mute Dog. Ahem. If you were stranded on a deserted island, what Nintendo game would you have in your possession? And let's just assume we're not talking like, oh, you gotta like figure out a power source. You have a way to play it, but you have one game in this hypothetical stranded on an island situation. What are you going to pick to bring with you as your one game?
I was just thinking about this like on my own the other day, and I don't remember what the answer I was, but I think the one I will give, at least for today, until I come up with another answer and rudely interrupt one of you guys, I'll go with Tetris. I'm going to play Tetris for the rest of my life.
I was going to say he's going to pick Tetris 99.
Yeah, Tetris 99. I could do Tetris 99 for sure.
Well,
I think Tetris is perfect.
Any game with online voice chat or messaging, please send help. I'm on an island.
Yeah, no. This is just a theory of like you only can have one game essentially. What are you gonna play if you can only have one?
Animal Crossing Happy Home Designer.
There's the winner right there.
I mean, I'm kind of tempted to say Metroid Dread, and then I would have no excuse not to get really good at speedrunning. But I feel like I might have to go with kind of just off the top of my head, Breath of the Wild, because I feel like it's more sandboxy. And
you just want to steal my answer.
Heck yeah, I do, you copycat.
Nice.
I saw what was going on there. Well, yeah, Breath of the Wild's my answer. I can play that game infinite. Like you said, it's a sandboxy game. The other games that come to mind as ones with like infinite replay value, like Minecraft.
Yeah,
because it can be anything. Like you can make it into whatever you want. And I had another answer for this. It was like this game will just never end. I don't remember what it is. So I'm supposed to say Minecraft. That style of like sandbox exploration, do whatever you want. But with Zelda, it's got like the physics engine in it as well. So,
yeah, it's a pretty good answer.
Yeah, it's one that you can just find ways to make it fun over and over and over again. Thank you for that question, Meat Dog. You want to ask the next one from Meat Dog, Micah? Got 2 questions left.
Theoretically, 2. He asks, which Breath of the Wild dish would you like to eat in real life?
Almost all of them.
They all look good, except for the ones that require cheese.
Oh, you missed a question. I see.
Actually, yeah, it was asked in the Music Pals channel.
Yeah.
Dubious food.
You want to eat some dubious food?
Yeah. Yep.
You'd try that, huh?
I'd try it. Dubious food.
It's so bad it's censored.
It could be made with the rocks, though.
Well, there is just rocks. That is a meal you can make. It's like it's like half a heart or something like that. You just eat straight rocks. I did a run of Breath of the Wild where I cooked every meal in the game. And I can speak from experience that they all look incredibly delicious.
Yeah.
They made the food look super good. They spent a lot of time on this piece of the game because there's like hundreds of meals.
So many combinations.
Yeah, and you can get like different power-ups for each of them with like different... It's crazy.
Why do cooked apples look so good? You know?
I don't know, because they're not.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a heated up apple?
I wouldn't want a heated up apple at all.
I have indeed, actually. I cut it up and threw it in my beef top ramen a few times.
Really?
It's pretty good. It has a weird kind of effect where it almost tastes like cinnamon apples in there for some reason.
I'm in for that.
But it's not. It's beef flavoring.
This is the weird.
I think it confuses the mind. It's like, this must be some cinnamon on this apple.
What is happening? Okay. But if I have to pick one, I'll probably go with like the rice balls. They got like I think they're just called rice balls. But
you would.
That's just
onigiri.
So boring.
Oh, but they look so good.
I mean, I feel like I could make one of those. It can't be that hard.
Well, then do it.
It's
Make
rice
me some
with meat. It's just fancy packaging.
All right, I'll go to the next question. Who would you rather have dinner with?
Well, I was going to say like seafood curry.
Oh, I didn't give you a chance to answer.
Okay, you thought I wouldn't know what I wanted to eat?
I thought you were going to go with apple on beef ramen. Cooked apples. Who would you rather have dinner with, Bowser or Ganondorf? Micah, you can go first this time so I don't forget you.
Definitely Bowser, because I feel like he'd be less likely to murder me.
Agreed.
Although really? I think Wind Waker Ganondorf would provide some interesting conversation. But I feel like I'd also end up dead.
There was a little bit of a discussion on this one. Presto responded and said, well, only one of them can talk. Is that true? I think they both can talk.
Like it trying to imply that only Ganon can talk?
Mm-hmm.
Bowser can talk. He talks smack to Mario all the time.
That's what I was saying.
In subtitles.
He talks in every game. It's all subtitles.
Yeah.
And then the counterpoint to that was, well, I don't think that's really talking. It's like more of a translation of his grumbles.
But it's still talking, just because we don't.
He's talking. That's his language.
Understand it without subtitles.
I can't. I'm not going to be able to understand Hylian from Ganondorf.
Good point. Gotcha.
It's going to be the same problem.
Yep.
So I think they both can talk. And if both of them can talk, I mean, Ganondorf would be cool to talk to. Not really. I think I'd rather talk to actually talk to a character in Zelda would be cool, but not Ganondorf because he's scary, man. I mean, dude's huge. It's like talking to The Rock, just this giant man, but one that's evil to the core, to like that is out to just like the spawn of evil. Yeah, but like, no, I don't want to talk to someone like that.
Not too evil for chat rule to try and team up with him.
Oh man, next YouTube video, y'all, you gotta check it out to get in on this chat rule lore. It's been a good time. I picked Bowser as well. I think it's unanimous. Bowser just seems like a fun guy. I could talk to him about raising kids. He's a family
how's
man.
Dad life?
How's dad life?
Hashtag dad life. Am I right, Bowser?
Oh man, I mean, as a parent with like hanging out with other parents, like that's just what you talk about a lot of the times, isn't it? It's like, oh man, I mean, we were doing it here.
Yep,
my kid took his first steps.
School, huh? Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah, my kid kidnapped Peach again.
Yep,
I'm so proud of that little rascal. That's what Bowser sounds like, an old lady. All right, last question here. What is your favorite Splatoon song?
I have no answer.
And this is from Lava Plays, and his answer says mine is Into the Light from the Octo expansion. You don't have like have you listened to much of the music?
I couldn't even tell you a song title at all.
How do you feel about the music in general?
I like it a lot.
Yeah, I think it's awesome.
Yeah, I like the Splatoon song. That's the one I like.
I like the Splatoon. Those Splatoons are very good.
The Splatoons. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like that. Splatoons.
Sounds like listen to music when you're pooping.
I am a big fan of.
I could see that, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Color Pulse and Acid Hues. Also great songs for pooping.
I was going to say they both sounded like poop songs.
Like 5. Those are really good songs, though. I like those ones are like way more vocals, if you can call it that. Whatever that gurgly fish noise they make is, you know?
Yeah.
There's a lot more vocals in those songs than in some others.
But the
Calamari Incantation, that's a good one.
I was just about to say that's easily the best Calamari Incantation.
Anarchy Rainbow, that's like the most recent one that they had for the Splatfest. And gotta give props. Big Man is an incredible singer. Sean OK over there. He Splatfest all over his mic.
At least I'm muted.
That does it for this episode of Nintendo Pals. This went really long. We had like a surprise segment in the middle, which will be its own separate thing. So thanks for doing that, Sean. Really appreciate you being here tonight. We will wrap up the show here. But before we do, can we give one more plug? Where can people find you and the stuff that you make, Sean?
Come search around Canada. You can find me in Canada, or a little easier on the internet. I'm Sean Capri on Twitter. It's Sean like Connery, Capri like the pants. And all my shows can be found on YouTube at youtube.com/carpoolgaming. The Nintendo Drive, the Xbox Drive are mine. We the Gamercast. But my team also does the PlayStation Drive, the RPG Cave. If you like video games, there's probably a show for you there at Carpool Gaming. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me on, by the way. It's always fun hanging out with you guys.
I am super glad we got to have you on again. I feel bad because every time we do, the show goes super long. And I'm like, I'm taking him from his day and night. but we just love talking with you, Sean.
Same
here, glad you keep saying yes, coming back. So appreciate that. You can find us as well by checking out YouTube. We are you can look up Nintendo Pals Podcast and Nintendo Pals. We have 2 channels. Nintendo Pals focused on our gaming and like really edited for YouTube content. And then the Nintendo Pals Podcast is our reactions and podcast episodes. So video versions of the podcast are available there and also on Spotify, where you can watch the video version of the podcast. You can also find us on all the social medias. We're on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. We have a Discord, an amazing Discord community filled with awesome people. Every week, we shout out our amazing supporters on Patreon via the Patreon PokeRap. And in that, you can get a shout out. And that's for everybody who supports us on Patreon for as little as $3 and up to our top tier patrons at the Platinum tier. Thanks to everybody who supports us. That it helps us out a ton, helps us put more into the show. We get to upgrade our gear and do all sorts of cool stuff, make it better and make more stuff. So here it is, the Patreon PokeRap. Go.
We gotta rap some Patreon. You just do the singing. I'll take care of the hard part. Let's get it on.
We want to be the best that ever was. And shout out our pals over on Patreon.
LPD, Rizzle, Retrologic Day, You Dog Gamer, Schlim, Tor, Spanish, and Solo Something, Brian, Little Miss 7, and Cosmic.
Catch 'em, gotta catch 'em all. Gotta catch 'em all. Patreon.
K9 Katina, Third Strongest One, Tim the Nintendo Daddle, and Seth Sturgill, Monkey Thunder, Purple Leotis, Dat Fast John, and Bubba Plays too.
Gotta catch 'em all. Gotta catch 'em all.
Yeah.
Gotta catch 'em all. Gotta catch 'em all.
Yeah.
Gotta catch 'em all. Patreon. Let's get 150 or more at least to be a Patreon donor is your destiny.
Thank you all so much for listening. Help us get that 150 or more to see in our Patreon. Check out our Patreon. Have a good one.